So, jetzt müssen wir mich, glaube ich, sehen und hören. Ja. Alter, ich muss nur mal meinen PC neu starten, so ein Scheiß. Halt, warte, ich wollte noch was machen. Da wollte was nicht. So, da wieder rein. Das ist mit offen auf Let's Play. So, guten Abend Navia, guten Abend Pupman, guten Abend Saruto und guten Abend Nilrock. Navia, wenn es dir nicht gut geht, hinlegen. Er ist keine Verpflichtung, der Stream. Und Wetter kann man immer noch nachschauen, wenn man möchte. Gut, da kann man nicht viel schreiben, aber. Aber Gesundheit geht vor. Und dann kommt lange nichts und dann kommt irgendwann vielleicht kommen andere Sachen. Tue ich doch, ich will nichts verpassen. Ja, aber auf die Gesundheit schauen. So. Warte mal, ich muss den Weg runterdrehen. Ja, hört sich gut an. So weit sieht man mich auch. Okay. Na gut. Erstmal wieder die Dailies. Haben wir da eigentlich irgendwas? Das müssen wir machen. Oh, kochen müssen wir auch noch. Das interessiert keinen. Das Gebiet haben wir auch noch irgendwo. So, erstmal die Dailies. Da dachte ich schon, hä, wo sind die ganzen Teleporter? Hast gesagt, würdest du empfehlen, Moment einen Banner zu pullen? Gute Frage, wenn du ihn magst, ja. Ich bin für solche Fragen eigentlich der schlechte Anlaufstelle, wenn es dir um wie gut man damit kämpfen kann und so geht. Ich ziehe sie nach, wie sie mir gefallen. Ich meine, er macht Spaß, also. Und ich meine, du kannst ihn ja momentan auch austesten, wenn du möchtest. Im Ding. Hast du Bock auf ihn? Holen. Hast du keinen Bock auf ihn? Lass es. Das ist so eigentlich die einzige Aussage, was ich tätigen kann. Vor allem, weil ich mich mit den ganzen Sachen inne beschäftige. Außer, oh cool, oder er schaut cool aus. Oder, oh, sein Moveset ist cool, den nehme ich. Wobei ich ihn ganz spaßig fand neulich wieder, wo ich ihn ausprobiert habe. Boah, wo war denn jetzt das, ey? Scheiß Halbniesen. Oh oh. Oh ne, wir kommen hoch. Wo ist das da? Die Dinger zerstört. Von dem Trailer zu 4.5 enttäuschen. Ja, ist klar. Es gab immer mal wieder Filler-Dinger. Dafür wird meistens dann beim nächsten wieder mehr kommen. Dafür ist der Name von dem Katzen-Event saugeil. Fury Fortress. Furification? Ach, keine Ahnung. Oder Fluffification? Ich habe keine Ahnung. Ah, das ist schon wieder. So. Warte, wo ist der? Ach, der Typ da unten, ja. Bin mir unsicher, wie alt der Beto dann ziehen soll. Achso, warte, der ist außen. Ah, ne, warte, ich soll wieder die Samen holen, oder? Hab ich da nicht schon welche? Chiori? Nee, die lasse ich aus. Ich würde zwar schon irgendwie gern, aber für das, dass Adeligino und wahrscheinlich Chlorinde jetzt dann demnächst anstehen, no. Und ich habe eh nicht so viel. Gut, zum neuen iPad. Ja, von mir dann auch viel Spaß auf jeden Fall damit. Ich bin zwar kein Apple-Fan, aber fürs Zeichnen soll es ja echt gut sein. Ich glaube, das war ja einer der Hauptgründe. Truppe. Oh, da ist sie. Da ist schon, so weit oben kann sie doch nicht sein. Wie ich die halt sogar sammeln muss? Habe ich nicht sogar welche dabei? Bis das Genshin immer größer wird an Gigabyte und so. Ne, keine Ahnung, ich spiele es am PC, deswegen merke ich sowas gar nicht. Für die ganzen Leute auf dem Handy ist das natürlich arschig. Ich frage mich, wie die das dann mal in 10 Jahren machen. Oder in 5. Genshin jetzt runterladen. In 2, 3 Tagen. Nur 500 Gigabyte. Wie groß ist Genshin eigentlich momentan? Warte mal. Das da? Nee, das ist was anderes. Ich hab's doch sogar Games genannt, ich Depp. Genshin. Eigenschaften. Okay, erzähl das mal. Oh, nur 86. Das wundert mich jetzt eigentlich. Ich dachte, das sind mehr. Ich dachte, wir wären schon über 100. Ja, es fliegt ja alles in die Richtung. Das soll in die Richtung fliegen. So 34. Oh, das geht ja dann aber eigentlich. Wobei das Ding ist, wenn du halt mehr so japanisch-chinesische Games spielst auf dem Handy, dann bist du schnell mal voll. Hier 50, da 30, da 60. Wobei das ja immer gut komprimiert wird eigentlich. Also ganz so groß wie das, was man runterlädt, ist es ja meistens nicht. Gott, vielleicht wirklich damit er weiß, was ich ihm alles sagen will. Vielleicht werde ich ihm Hilfe später noch in Anspruch nehmen müssen.
Lord Barbados, please see to it that Godwin gets home soon and safe.
Habe ich das nicht schon öfter gemacht? Schließe Gedanken im Wind ab. Okay. Ich meine, ich werde mich jetzt hier nicht beklagen. Noch 8 Tage? Noch einen Tag. Okay, das sollten wir erst machen. Und dann machen wir einen Legendenauftrag.
Skyward!
Hä? Oh, weiter runter. Sprachpakete runter, Japanisch oder so.
Ja! Skyward!
Das war jetzt nicht so geplant. Wow, Genshin auf der PS5 100 GB groß und 53 auf Sonkai Star Rail. Alter, warum sind die so groß? Ja, PlayStation halt.
Wang Shuin now hiring. Urgently seeking one temporary chef willing to pay top Mora salary negotiable.
Jetzt habe ich die Aufnahme fast vergessen. Also sorry für die dann auf YouTube.
Look, traveler, an urgent hiring notice and they're paying top Mora too. Oh, Paimon likes the sound of that.
Seltsam, warum sucht das Gasthauswagen schon plötzlich einen Küchenchef?
You're right, it is strange. Do you think something happened to Yanxiao? Because that guy barely lets anyone ever set foot in his kitchen. Doesn't exactly seem like the type to hire help. The notice says interested parties should go upstairs and talk to the innkeeper Huayan. Should we go and see what's up?
Musst du fragen, was mit Jansho ist? Oder Jansho?
And we can ask about the pay while we're at it.
Aber wir können auch gleich nach der Kohle fragen. Weil das Kampfevent am letzten Wochenende hab ich weggelassen. Ich habe keinen Bock gehabt, ey. Dachte mir so, oh scheiße, ich habe das Kampfevent gar nicht gemacht. Dachte mir, ach fuck it.
Boss, there's really no need for this. It's just a little burn, that's all. It won't get in the way of my work.
Ja, nur die Hand verbrannt. Schau mal die Verbände an, die Arme, die Füße. Was hast du gekocht, Alter?
Perhaps not. Continuing to work will only hinder your recovery. You need to rest for a few days. We'll figure something out.
Huayan! Yanxiao!
Oh? Traveler and Paimon. What brings you to this neck of the woods?
Ein Aktionsevent. Wir haben unten eine Stellenausschreibung gesehen.
And we decided to come check up on Yanxiao.
I knew we shouldn't have posted that notice. It's really nothing to worry about. I'm fine. I swear.
How kind of you. My thanks to you both. And thanks on Yanxiao's behalf, too. There's nothing to be embarrassed about, Yanxiao. Just tell them what happened.
Oh, all right. Well, basically, we had a lot of guests pouring in for the lantern ride. Things got busy, I started rushing, and I ended up accidentally burning my hand while plating a dish.
Ja, links, rechts, unten an den Füßen.
Well, you know what they say. Play with fire long enough and you're bound to get burned. Even the best chefs slip up sometimes. Anyway, it's nothing, just a tiny burn. I can still...
Wahrscheinlich hängst du die halbe Hand weg. Oh, ich hab nur ein bisschen Achso, ja. Sonnenuntergang. Hä, was ist jetzt los?
Now. I
Häng die halbe
don't
Hand
want you
weg.
pushing yourself. You'll only make it worse. And then you'll be looking at more than just a couple of days off to recover.
But the lantern ride's only just finished. And we're still getting tons of guests. Now's not a good time for me to rest. Plus, lots of the guests are visiting from other nations. We can't just bring in some random chef off the street. We have a reputation to uphold. I refuse to let someone else ruin the good name we've made for ourselves here.
Listen to you. Anyone would think that you're the boss and not me. But he's not wrong. Yanxiao was one of the favorites in the Masterful Chefs tournament. No matter how you look at it, his are big boots to fill.
I don't mean to boast, but any chef of my caliber probably has their own restaurant to look after. It's not going to be easy to find someone who's got the skills and has the time to help us out.
Looks like we might have to increase the pay we're offering even further.
Do we know anyone that's a good chef and has the time to help out?
Ja, vielleicht ist ja jemand näher, als du denkst.
Oh, of course, you!
Oh, right. Yes. Now I think about it, I do recall hearing good things about your cooking ability. I suppose I'd added you to my mental list of people who can hold their own in a combat situation, but forgot you can cook.
Why are you even keeping a mental list of people who can fight?
Maybe a story for another time. More importantly, I'm sure Yanxiao would be comfortable leaving his kitchen in your hands, if anyone's. What do you think, Yanxiao?
Well, since it's you, I suppose that's better than anyone else.
What do you think, Traveler? Should we do it?
Gerade gesagt, dass er die Bezahlung höher ansetzen wird. Schauen wir mal, was er die Küche verlassen wird.
I should warn you that cooking for customers is quite a different ballgame from cooking for yourself, so I'll stick around the kitchen over the next few days to help smooth things over.
Oh, so he's not leaving the kitchen after all?
I believe there's some spare kitchenware here at the inn. Boss, would you mind?
Of course. I'll take care of it.
Hä, was macht der? Soll er sich nicht ausruhen? Jetzt bereitet er die Küche vor, oder was?
All done. Come, take a look. This was made with your measurements in mind.
Warte, hat er das jetzt gebaut? Einfach mal schnell so? Oh. Ich weiß sogar mit ausgeschnitten, dass ein Topf reinpasst und alles. Das ist seine wahre Berufung verfehlt, so ein fachmännische Schreinerarbeit.
Ah, it's nothing. A little handicraft and elbow grease goes a long way. All right, Yanxiao. I'll leave you to take it from here.
You really went to all the trouble of building a new stovetop? What was wrong with the original? Boy, you really hate when people touch your stuff, huh?
No, it's nothing like that. As boss always says, hire who you trust and trust who you hire. I just thought the original setup might be a little, tall for you.
Oh, für dich sieht doch jeder klein aus, oder?
Anyway, as I was saying, cooking for guests is different from cooking for yourself. Not only do you have to execute on taste, aroma, and appearance, but you also need to ensure speed, precision, and consistency.
Ey, wenn die Kunden ein bisschen rummalen, hau ich den ja aufs Dach.
Having the right equipment is a big part of that. Ill-suited equipment doesn't just make the job more tiring, it also slows you down. And paying customers don't have unlimited patience. Sometimes cooking is all about being well prepared. That's how you ensure speed.
Okay, and what about precision and consistency?
Precision all comes down to using your eyes. Where to slice into a particular cut of meat, how much oil to use, how to tell when a dish is done cooking. When you cook for yourself, you can always add salt if it's too bland or add water if it's too salty. You can tweak the taste as you go, but in a restaurant, there's not that much room for trial and error.
Da machen wir keine allzu großen Sorgen.
Worst case scenario, Paimon can deal with any subpar dishes by making sure they get properly disposed of.
Ich würde mir eher Sorgen machen, warum da hinten der Fischer seit Jahren liegt.
The final thing you have to focus on is consistency. You have to be able to handle the most challenging orders with the same level of technique and skill as the easiest ones. This is particularly important when you have guests from all over, each with their own tastes and preferences. You have to cater to their own dietary needs, while also giving them the opportunity to enjoy our local delicacies.
This last point is making Paimon's head spin.
Don't worry. Matter of fact, someone as well-traveled as you may even have a better handle on it than me once you get started. And of course, I'll be around to help you over the next few days. I don't think we'll have any trouble making all our guests feel right at home.
Okay. Achso.
There's no time to lose, so let's get started. I imagine you probably have a good handle on the cooking side of things already. What you need to pay attention to is remembering each table's order. Try not to get them mixed up.
Oh, Paimon's memory is like a steel trap. This is gonna be a cinch.
Nach einem Tag? Was?
Which ticket are we on again? Table 1 was onions, but no chilies. Table 2 was chilies, but no onions. And table 3 was, table 3 was chilies, but hold the chilies?
Alle Gäste haben aufgefressen. Wach auf, Paimon.
Was Paimon just sleep floating?
Du hast völlig aus dem Nichts angefangen, für das Zeug zu faseln.
We didn't even get a break in the middle. Paimon's brain has turned to mush. Is it always this busy here?
No, but this is peak season. You both did a mighty fine job for your first time serving guests at the inn.
Ja, ich war echt gut. Ich weiß zwar nicht, was ich gemacht habe, aber ich war
Luckily, all
scheinbar
our
echt gut.
customers were familiar faces this time around, so we didn't get any strange requests. Otherwise, today would have been even more challenging.
No strange request? Someone asked for almond tofu drizzled in soy sauce. Even Paimon has never tried that combination.
It's a wide world out there. People have all kinds of different tastes. Being able to cater to all is the real essence of Liyue cuisine. Also, the thing about requests is that they're usually very specific. So as long as you do what they asked, you're unlikely to have any issues. What's really tricky is when guests give you free rein to do anything you want.
Excuse me. Are you still open by any chance?
Ist das Mika?
Paimon knows that voice. Let's go check it out.
What should we
der.
do?
Okay, den hab ich
It doesn't look like anyone's here. If only we'd gotten here a bit sooner.
Den habe ich ganz vergessen, weil der so unscheinbar ist. Warum zur Hölle seid die ganzen Fontaine-Fuzis in Liebe eigentlich? Was wollten die alle
It's
hier?
all right.
Geht heim.
If we start building a campfire now, we'll be eating before too long.
Right. Besides, if anyone's to blame, it's Linny. So busy being a greedy culture vulture that he lost track of time.
Linny, Lynette, Fremine, it is you!
Paimon? So, is the Traveler here?
Klar, als ob ich ohne die rumrenne. Hallo zusammen.
Traveler, Paimon! What a nice surprise!
Ja, als ob ihr mich nicht verfolgt oder so.
Paimon was gonna say the same thing. We're just lending a helping hand at the inn.
Ihr berichtet den dreien, was Sache ist.
Anyway, so that's how we ended up here. But what about you guys? Don't tell us. Father sent you on another mission?
No, quite the opposite, actually. We're in Liyue on vacation, and while we're here, I thought a cultural tour might be in order.
Father said we deserve some rest after everything that happened recently. Otherwise, it could jeopardize our next mission.
It's not every day we get this kind of opportunity. Linny thought it might be fun to spend some time in Liyue, especially since it's Lantern Rite season.
Inspirationsausflug, und was ist das?
We could hardly pass up the opportunity to watch a Liyue-style magic show. Although, I think they call it conjuring here.
In our time here, we've seen conjuring tricks incorporated into a Liyue opera show, and even a wushu dance. It was amazing.
So, we decided to stay here for a few more days to see what other forms of inspiration this land might have in store for us. We visited Granny Roshin in Chingsa village not long ago, and today we continued our cultural tour in the area around here.
In the end, though, we lost track of time. We haven't even eaten anything yet.
And speaking of eating, as you know, seafood is a big part of both Liyue and Fontaine cuisine, but it's cooked very differently here.
Aquatisches Produkt. So müsstest du mal in den Laden gehen. Hey, ich hätte gern etwas Aquatisches.
We simply
sich
had
komisch
to
an, auch
try
wenn's
some
vielleicht
local
stimmt.
seafood after coming all this way. That's another reason why we decided to extend our trip.
Oh, need any recommendations? What have you tried so far?
That fish one with the misleading name. Sounds bland, but it's drowning in hot chilies.
Oh, you mean blackback perch soup? You're right. The name doesn't give much away.
It looked and smelled so appetizing that Lynette took a huge mouthful, blissfully unaware that she was about to set her mouth on fire. She could barely speak for the rest of the day after that.
Sie redet sowieso schon nicht viel.
Luckily, that wasn't a huge adjustment for her.
Ah. Plötzlich gibt Nett einen übertriebenen Laut von sich.
What? Aren't you guys hungry too?
Yes, a little.
Yes, I'm ready to eat. Traveler, I'm afraid we'll have to send you back to the kitchen now.
Was darf's denn sein?
Good question. I doubt we'll be able to decipher the menu, so why don't you recommend something? You should be pretty familiar with our tastes.
Echt? Ich habe keine Ahnung, was ihr mögt. Wobei, sie mag was Süßes, bei denen zwei keine Ahnung. Er mag was Stilles. Na gut, dann werde ich mir etwas einfallen lassen.
One more thing. Please, if you have a heart, don't make it spicy.
Also so scharf es geht.
I I thought the blackback perched.
And now that you know it's spicy, you won't be caught off guard, right? Why don't we give it another chance?
Once was more than enough.
I thought the black.
And now that you know it's spicy,
Okay.
you won't.
Once was.
Also wollen zwei wieder den Schwarzrückenbarsch und sie lieber nicht?
Fontaine, huh? No wonder they can't handle too much spice. Still, if we make the food too bland, they might as well be eating back home.
Was würdest du also empfehlen?
There's this crab and shrimp stir-fry I know that could work. It's quite heavily seasoned, but it's a lot milder than it looks. It has a light but really satisfying flavor.
Ooh, that sounds perfect! What's it called?
Well, this is where it gets interesting. They call it the Palace Jewels. The crab roe is supposed to look like pearls of gold, and the shrimp meat like chunks of jade.
Alter, was sind das für Namen? Krebsrocken, goldener als Gold, Garnelenfleisch wie Jahre. Reichtum im Überfluss. Wow. Vom Namen ausgehend weiß man nicht wirklich, was gemeint
Here's
ist.
the recipe. When you're ready, go ahead and give it a try.
Die machen auch mit den Namen, was sie wollen. Die Herausforderung von Freunden aus der Ferne musst du ständig schneiden, mischen und kochen, um ein Gericht zuzubereiten, das der Gast wünscht. Indem du mit dem Schneiden begonnen hast, bewegt sich der Zeit. Alter, wie ich das gesehen habe, habe ich irgendwo auf Twitter, glaube ich, habe ich das gesehen. Ich dachte, das ist irgendeine Animation, was irgendwer gebastelt hat. Also stattdessen ist das halt was Echtes gewesen. Schiebe die zwischen den beiden Enden hin und her. Wenn der Zeiger auf den entsprechenden Bereich zeigt, klicke auf die Taste, um Erfolg zu erzielen. Begonnen hast, halte die Taste gedrückt, damit sich der Zeiger über den Rand bewegt. Wenn der Zeiger auf der angefallenen Bereich ist, lass die Taste los. Kochen begonnen hast, bewegt der Zeiger auf dem Schieberegler zwischen den beiden Händen hin und her. Wenn der Zeiger auf den entsprechenden Bereich zeigt, die Taste. Teller einrichten und dekorieren. 3 Teile des Gerichts können dekoriert werden. Okay. Schauen wir mal. Learning by doing heißt es immer. Kann man den 3 ein paar Steine zum Futter geben? So als lokale Spezialität, ja. Geosteinchen. Oh, warte, ich habe nicht geschaut, was ich brauche. Das hört sich gerade eher an, wie wenn er einfach nur auf dem Tisch rumhaut. Ich bin mir nicht sicher, ob er gerade was schneidet. Hä? Warum habe ich jetzt nicht unten drücken können? Das war komisch. Wie es sich freut. Ich klicke aufs erste im richtigen Moment, um zu kochen. Ja, schaut, Alter, wieso? Keine Ahnung. Gefäß im Frühling des grünen Schattens. Dekoration wechseln. Ach du Scheiße. Das ist aber irgendwie lustig. Oh, die schaut noch knuffig aus. Aber ist das irgendwie egal? Perols rote Bilanz. Reichtum im Überfluss. Okay.
Sorry for the wait. This dish is called the Palace Jewels. Enjoy!
Ah, yes. We meant to say, you two must be tired after a long day of work. Do you want to eat with us?
Wollt ihr mir jetzt erzählen, dass sie nicht zufrieden sind, Alter? Ey, gleich gibt's aber Backpfeifen hier.
unfortunate. Paimon is a little hungry. Well, if you insist, then who are we to refuse?
Ja, aber ihr seid immer noch unsere Gäste, also sollte der erste Bissen euch
Oh,
gebühren.
right. Of course. You're still our customers.
Oder trauen die mir nicht?
Why aren't you eating?
The sauce looks a little overpowering.
Oh, according to Liyue custom, it's
Oh,
probably
okay.
good table manners to let someone else go first.
Looks delicious, traveler. I guess I'll dig in first. Here.
What is it? Do you need some water?
Alter, probiert halt erstmal.
It's delicious. The flavor is so pure. It's drenched in sauce, but somehow it just enhances the natural flavor of the seafood. Try it for yourselves.
Alright.
Ich meine, ich bin jetzt auch nicht der experimentierfreudigste, ne? Aber das ist halt schon...
What is that? Crab roe?
Yep. You have quite the palate, Lynette.
No wonder it pairs so well with the shrimp meat. I've never seen it prepared this way before.
According to the creator, chewy crab complements succulent shrimp, making a spectacular seafood ensemble with a succulent flavor and luscious mouthfeel.
Was war das jetzt?
The crab roe glitters like pearls of gold, and the shrimp shines like chunks of jade. Hence its name, the Palace Jewels.
So that's where the name comes from. Huh. I suppose it's quite fitting then.
Was Paimon always this well spoken?
Sie hat die Beschreibung auf dem Rezept auswendig
This
gelernt.
dish must be right up your alley, Lynette. Huh?
Schon alles weg.
It's half gone already? When did that happen?
Wohl zu der Zeit, als du dich hier gerade aufgeplustert hast.
I heard that in Liyue. The biggest compliment you can pay to the chef is to leave a clean plate. It's delicious. Thank you ever so much.
Wait, don't fight over it. Hey, leave some for Paimon.
Tja, hättest dich gleich drauf gestürzt, anstatt zu warten und rumzumaulen. Zu erzählen.
I think I'm finally getting the hang of chopsticks.
War das Hey Kitty Kitty für die Lynette? Wo ist die eigentlich? Bist du noch am Üben, Fremine?
Yeah. Well, Linny and Lynette picked it up in no time, but they're naturally dexterous. Unlike me, it's taken me a lot longer, but I'm slowly getting there. Oh, speaking of chopsticks, in one of the shows we've seen here, someone performed a conjuring trick using a bowl and chopsticks. So, if I want to be a good magician's assistant, I need to keep practicing.
Also ich bin mit Stäbchen relativ in Ordnung. Ich bin jetzt auch nicht echt super, aber es geht eigentlich.
Lynette's not usually so forthcoming about what she likes. But this time, well, she's expressed it in more ways than one. I guess you've rubbed off on her too. Or maybe your cooking is simply too delicious to resist. The next time our paths cross in Fontaine, you'll have to fire up your cooking skills for my other siblings as well. How does that sound, oh great master chef?
Seine anderen Geschwistern. Ich bin mal gespannt, wen wir da noch kennenlernen. Wie der große Zauberer wünscht.
Oh yeah? Well then, I'll have to clear my schedule.
Oder es sind alles bloß irgendwelche NPC-Kids? Hä?
Skyward! Scatter!
Hallo, halt dich doch für... Ja, okay, dann halt nicht. Hä? Da ist er. Wo war denn die rum? Bin ich jetzt blöd? Oh, da steht's. Wow, ich habe alles geschaut, bloß nicht da, wo es ist.
Calorie surplus detected. Digestion mode engaged.
Es ist selten, dass du so einen Appetit hast.
Yeah. Well, Lenny and I are usually careful about what we eat because we have to stay in performance shape. That, plus it's generally bad manners to overindulge at the dinner table. But Once in a while, it's nice to treat yourself in the company of family. Besides, if I'd waited until my brothers were finished trying to outpolite each other, the food would have gone cold.
Oder so.
Yeah.
Schön mal mit die Füße aufs
So your
aufs Essen.
friends like the dish, huh? Well done. Not bad at all for your first day on the job. There'll be more to come, so keep it up.
Bin gespannt, wer jetzt da noch alles kommt. Aber warte bis zum nächsten Tag. War es 8? Ich hoffe, es war 8. Schon über Schluss machen. Nur weil Misophon-Tropfen. Keine Ahnung. Kenn ich nicht. Aber ist gut, dann ruh dich auf jeden Fall gescheit aus. 6 bis 8. Oh, fuck you, Alter. Warum schaffe ich grundsätzlich immer bis zu der Uhrzeit zu warten, wo ich ihn nicht warten soll? Ich meine, wie oft ist es? Du liest irgendwie 6 oder 8 und denkst so, okay, es ist 8. Max bis 8. Oh, hoppla. Ja, man soll bis 18 Uhr, 18 und 20 Uhr warten. Oh, warte mal bis 20 Uhr. Oh, hoppla. Wieder zu weit. So, jetzt aber. Schauen wir mal, wer kommt denn jetzt?
Morning. The boss tells me that both new and returning customers have nothing but good things to say about you.
Ich glaube, jetzt kommt jemand aus. Entweder nochmal, wobei, vielleicht eher aus Lühe? Vielleicht auch aus Mondstadt.
I have to admit, I was a little worried about throwing you right into the deep end. But it looks like you've got what it takes to handle the day-to-day here. So it should be plain sailing. Well, just as long as we don't run into any extremely picky customers with unreasonably specific requests.
Fuck, Alter, ich dachte aus Sumero kommt keiner, Alter. Aber genau das kommt jetzt.
Oh, have you had someone like that before?
Ich kann mit Stäben gar nicht essen. Das ist schnell gelernt.
Of course. The worst are those old scholars who have barely cooked a day in their life, but think reading a stack of books on the topic makes them the expert.
Wow, da haben sie jetzt die Schlimmste mit
They
erwischt.
criticize you for no reason, claiming your cooking method isn't faithful to the original, or that the flavor profile isn't authentic because you used an ingredient that wasn't in their beloved centuries-old version of the recipe.
This is Wang Shuin. It does have the look and feel of a time-honored establishment.
Diese Stimme.
Oh, innkeeper! We'll have each of your signature dishes, please, as fast as you can serve them. The most expensive ones.
Farzan! Oops, Madam Farzan.
Oh my! Traveler, Paimon, whatever are you doing here?
Ich habe komplett vergessen, wie sie eigentlich redet, Alter.
We could ask you the same thing. Where'd you suddenly get the funds to go sightseeing? And to order the most expensive things on the menu?
Irgendwie ist sie zu Geld gekommen.
I'm not here to sightsee. Exemplary scholars like myself are highly sought after by cruise operators in need of an onboard consultant as they travel the world.
Wer kommt denn jetzt da noch? Die Dori und?
Madam
Echt?
Farzan, please, slow down. None of us slept last night. How come Madam Farzan still has so much energy? If she's really over 100 years old, I don't understand how she keeps going. It's all my fault. She's been like this ever since I told her I'd be paying the expenses.
Ach so.
Layla! And Dory? Huh. Never would have bet on this combination.
Guten Abend, Tamara. Wie auch immer, ihr solltet euch eine Weile ausruhen. Du führst die 3 zu ihrem Plätzchen und erklärst ihnen, dass du derzeit im
Temporary
Restaurant
chef, huh?
arbeitest.
Wow. No rest for the wicked. Well, if the chef here is trusting you to run his whole kitchen, then I've got no doubt we're in for some authentic Liyue specialties.
So, why are you all in Liyue again? Something about being an onboard consultant?
I got my hands on a new boat from Fontaine a while ago, equipped with cutting-edge navigation technology. If we manage to spread the word, it could have huge business potential. Right now, we're doing some test runs. We sailed from Port Ormos to Rito, then from Rito to Liyue Harbor. Next, we're planning to go to Dornman Port.
Dornmannshafen.
Madame Farazan and me were hired to fine-tune the compass and other equipment. We sailed around the Sea of Clouds all of last night to put the system through some stress testing.
Also illegale Überstunden.
Overtime for which they'll both be fairly compensated. They're both here willingly. The contract is crystal clear on that.
You really cover all your bases, don't you? Let Paimon guess. Paying the expenses is part of the compensation, isn't it? No wonder Madame Farazan is going for all the most expensive dishes.
It's not every day someone tells you to order whatever you like. Now, first up, we'll have the...
Ist mir das schon mal aufgefallen, dass das unterschiedlich blau und grün ist?
Farazan, Madam Farazan, that is. While I am more than happy to treat you both to the most expensive dishes on the menu, we must remember that most expensive does not always mean best. I've heard that the most expensive dishes in Liyue are usually either seafood-based or take an exceptionally long time to prepare. Now, I don't know about you two, but after so many days at sea, I don't think I can so much as look at another piece of seafood again for at least the foreseeable future.
Huh. That's actually a good point.
Not to mention that poor Layla here looks like she's about to faint from hunger.
Nee, schon eher, sie schläft gleich an.
Huh? Oh, that's not because of hunger.
Surely the wise and virtuous Madame Farazan could not bear to watch her poor students sit here and waste away.
Oh, well, of course I care about my students' well-being, but why do I feel like I'm being tricked?
So, let's not order anything that'll take too long to prepare. Aside from that and seafood, we'll take whatever other expensive dishes you have. Over to you, traveler.
Halt, warte.
No seafood and nothing that takes too long to cook. The rest is up to you.
I had my eye on Adeptus Temptation, bamboo shoot soup, and golden shrimp balls, but I suppose they'll have to wait for the next time. But that could be years from now.
Aw, Madame Farazan looks so deflated all of a sudden. Please still try to choose dishes on the expensive side, okay?
Die eine handelt sie runter, die eine will das teuerste haben und die eine will, dass ich was Teures nehme.
So, expensive, but no seafood, and nothing that takes too long to cook. That rules out pretty much our entire menu. Do these people get a kick out of being impossible to please?
That Dory! Is she doing this on purpose?
Ich wette, das tut sie.
This isn't Lioli Pavilion or Xinhua Kiosk. This is Wangshu Inn. We don't stock up on rare and exotic ingredients. We only get them in if someone puts in a special reservation. Well, if we're stuck with regular ingredients and we're on a time limit, there's only one way to bump up the price. And that's by cooking a dish that uses the chef's expertise and creativity to the fullest. As it happens, I know a recipe for something called trembling strings and rushing reeds. It can be whipped up quickly with what we already have in the kitchen.
Der Name.
One plate usually goes for 30,000 mora.
Also für mich ist das nicht viel, ne? Aber boah.
30,000? But if it's quick to make and isn't fancy, what exactly makes it so special?
Wahrscheinlich schmeißt man irgendein Butterbrot drauf und legt dann ein Goldbahn daneben.
Quick doesn't have to mean quick and easy. To perfect this dish, you need expert knife work and very precise control over the heat. You have to finely slice several different types of meat into fine threads, knead them together into strips, then gently stir-fry them in the pan. What you end up with is a whole variety of flavors that come through layer by layer.
Gibt's so ein Gericht? Das würde mich jetzt interessieren. Fleischsorten in Fäden, feine Fäden schneiden und dann zusammenkneten. Hört sich irgendwie gut an. Na, wie ist die Lage? Alles wie immer, Genshin-Events machen
This
und nach
dish is
uns.
unique in offering a harmonious blend of multiple kinds of meat, all cooked to perfection, while still bursting with their own distinct flavors. Do it right, and you've got a culinary masterpiece in your hands. But if you botch it, it's just a bunch of meat thrown on a plate.
Ich bin halt so ein Banause, für mich ist das alles bloß Fleisch auf dem Teller.
Oh, Paimon gets it now. So this dish gets its value not from the ingredients, but the chef's expertise.
Glaubst du, ich krieg das hin?
Now, don't
Klar.
worry. I can take care of the kneading and other prep work for you. You just focus on bringing it all together.
Believe in yourself. You can do this. And if you mess it up, Paimon will still be happy to eat it.
Ja, mach erst mal 3 Fehler, damit ich 3 Sachen essen kann. Ich könnte die Beschreibung lesen, aber scheiß drauf. Ich wünsche mir öfters solche Events. Wo dann halt auch die Charaktere kommen und so. Gerade wollte ich sagen, die könnten es mal ein bisschen schneller machen. Wie ist das einfach voll neiflatscht, Alter. Hat er nicht was von feinen Streifen gesagt? Das sind doch keine feinen Streifen mehr. Ich meine, ich dachte, das ist eher so fadenmäßig. Und dann machst du was draus. Aber das ist halt einfach nur, keine Ahnung. Wie sagt man? Geschnetzeltes? Nur ein bisschen länger? So. Oder sind diese Dinger aus dünnen Fäden?
Enjoy.
Das kann natürlich sein, dass die einzelnen Streifen nochmal aus dünnen Fäden vom einzelnen Fleisch zusammen ist. Ich wundere, dass das Paimon nicht schon alles verputzt hat. Das stimmt, aber wer weiß, wie oft wir eigentlich anfangen mussten.
Ooh, smells delightful.
Oh, we meant to ask, have you two eaten breakfast yet? If not, why don't you join us at the table?
Ich mir halt ständig was zu essen vor dem
Did Dory just offer us a free meal? When did she become so generous?
Let's not forget that the biggest business deals are always settled over a meal. Come on, come on, come on, sit down and join us. Everyone, dig in.
Willst du den Preis nachlassen, weil ich damit esse?
This dish looks simple enough. And I did my research, so surely it can't cost all that much. Worst case scenario, maybe 10,000 mora?
This dish had better be worth working overtime all night for. Well, traveler, this is the moment of truth.
Oh, so tired. So sleepy. I just want to eat up and get to bed.
Alle beginnen zu essen und jeder ist dann eigentlich Gedanken versuchen.
Foul? Oh, wait. No, the texture is more like shroom.
There's a different flavor in every bite. And the discerning palate might detect a hint of something smoked, too. Quite marvelous.
Ist sie auf
How
Drogen?
is this
Alter?
made?
Die Rauchnote stammt vom Schinken. Ich habe Schinken hinzugefügt.
Ham? But I don't see any ham anywhere.
Oh. Haha, so you've noticed. Yep, every single strip is kneaded from several different kinds of meat. Paimon and Yanxiao put in a lot of effort to make it just right.
Paimon?
So I'm not an expert or anything, but don't different meats have different cooking times? How is everything in this dish cooked to perfection? Well, you see, That's a trade secret.
Also eine Frage der Übung.
Wow. So this dish really is one of a kind. That makes the whole trip worth it. By the way, does this special dish have a name?
Ah, Paimon forgot to mention that part. The dish is called Trembling Strings and Rushing Reeds, alluding to the way that the different threads of meat are woven together. And also,
The complex layers of flavor, yes? Akin to the harmonies of a musical ensemble? The name, if I'm not mistaken, is a Liyue idiom that evokes a vigorous orchestral performance featuring both stringed and wind instruments playing together. Quite an apt name for this dish.
how did you know all that?
Every student has to master at least 20 languages before they graduate. Wait, is that not a requirement anymore?
Huh? Oh, that used to be a thing? Oh, Paimon almost forgot that you're also from Harabatat.
So, anyway, how much does this dish cost?
Oh, don't worry, not too much. That'll be 30,000 more, please and thank you.
30,000? About that, Paimon, traveler, I merely invited you to join us at the table, did I not? I don't believe I committed to paying for you. So, perhaps we could split the bill accordingly?
Oh, Paimon knew it was too good to be true.
30.000 Wörter sind für den großen Herrn St. Gemaya Bay doch kein Betrag. 30.000 Wörter sind... Okay.
Yeah, as a famous merchant, you've got a reputation to uphold.
But every single mora matters, you know? All right. I'll just consider that the cost of learning about this dish. Once I'm back in Sumeru, I'll be sure to find someone to help me recreate the dish. And then I'll make it all back.
I feel so much better now that I've gotten some food in me. Delicious food really does wonders for one's spirits.
Ich hätte nie gedacht, dass du eine so anspruchsvolle Mission übernehmen würdest.
My advisor said that young people shouldn't stay cooped up in the academia all the time. They told me that I should take the chance to get out and see the stars in other skies. Maybe I can think of it as my first internship experience. But it sure is exhausting.
Da.
Now, how should I justify a high price tag for a dish without any fancy ingredients? Maybe start by giving it a fancy-sounding name?
Übrigens, dein eigentlicher Grund, das Gasthaus Wangzhou zu wenden und keine Meeresfrüchte und so zu bestellen ist?
I should have known you'd see through me. Everyone was exhausted and seasick when I made the offer last night, so I figured they probably wouldn't be able to eat all that much today. Well, you saw how that turned out. I tried placing some limitations on the order to keep costs under control, but you still found a way around my schemes. That's what I get for not thoroughly researching the market beforehand.
Hey, you're not even paying those too much of a salary. Just treat them fairly next time and don't be so stingy.
Du hast gut reden, Paimon. Du schmarotzt doch immer, sich dir die Gelegenheit bietet.
Well, yeah, but that's why Paimon's qualified to talk about this.
So kann man es auch sehen.
Yeah, skyward!
Even though I didn't get to try Adeptus Temptation or Bamboo Shoot Soup, this trembling strings and rushing reeds was still quite impressive. Thank you for making it.
Wer hätte gedacht, dass du mal eine Mission annimmst, die nichts mit Ruinen zu tun hat?
Well, about that. Even though newfangled contraptions are hardly my cup of tea, Dory's offer was quite enticing. She said that every time we stopped at a new harbor, I'd be free to go and pick out some ancient books at the market and bring them back to Sumeru. I couldn't resist an offer like that. So I offered to join for the lowest possible pay to undercut all my Kasharawar competitors.
Okay.
We're off to a good start this morning. Keep up the good work. I'm counting on you.
Paimon und du arbeiten bis zum Feierabend durch und bedienen unzählige Gäste. Ihre Geschmäcker sind so schnell, dass ich sie nicht mal lesen kann. Sind mir Seiten und... Ah, das haben wir jetzt dann bekommen. Warte mal, habe ich durchgearbeitet bis um 6? Wow. Hätte die Story ein paar Minuten eher aufgehört, dann hätte ich einfach kurz warten müssen bloß. Das war so klar.
Peace prevails throughout the land, and all things are...
Schau mal, wer taucht heute auf?
Morning. Time to fire up the stove for another day of customers. Thanks again.
Dann Erfahrung-Gepäck wird die Arbeit langsam zu deiner zweiten Natur.
Great work. Well, you're looking more like a head chef every day. Whatever crazy characters come walking through that door, I know you'll be able to handle them.
Wait, no! Every time you say something like that, you jinx it!
Hey, that's not true. Anyway, I didn't mean it like that.
Okay, wer kommt?
Dude, what up, bro?
Oh,
I
shit.
didn't know you were in Liyue too. It's always nice to run into a broadie and a zoomin' fellow. Wait, did I say that right?
Almost. I think you meant fellow Inazuman abroad, boss.
Yeah, that's the one. Yeah, we gotta look out for each other when we're this far from home, don't we, Ayato?
Was ist das für eine Kombi, Alter? Icho? Ne, gut, die Dinge und die zwei sind eh zusammen, aber der Ayato? Der will doch nur seinen Boba. Gute Nacht, Navi.
Oh, Bullchecker! What are you doing here?
Huh? Oh, hey, flying lavender melon! Of the sky-cleaving white iron variety. And my compadre, too! All my buddies in one place! God, today's my lucky day!
Hat sich Ayato jetzt aufgelöst, oder was?
Didn't you say you were gonna knuckle down and earn some more when you got home? How come you're back in Liyue so soon?
That could wait. As soon as I announce that Arataki Ito is available for hire, they'll be throwing Mora at me. Right now, I got a more urgent situation to attend to. I'm in the mood for some good, spicy food.
Wie die Shinobu ihn ansieht.
Oh, and while we're here, we were gonna also see if Grandmaster Hanakado's okay and whatnot.
Dieser Ausdruck auf Shinobus Gesicht scheint zu sagen, frag nicht. Und was mit dir, Ayato?
Not too long ago, I heard a rumor that someone was hosting an Onikabuto fighting contest in Liyue. Naturally, I came here as soon as I could, but...
Anyway, hey, get the chef out here! I got compadres to feed!
Ich bin der Koch.
Yeah, sure, me too. Wait, what?
Wow, Bullchecker set up that one for us really nicely. Gotta give him some credit for that.
Ja, aber der Küchenchef ist jemand anders.
Good one, compadre. You almost got me there. All right, well, get the chef out here.
Paimon geht in die Küche und holt lächeln das Xianyun.
So, may I take your order? If you're entertaining guests, I can recommend the palace jewels, a trembling strings and rushing reeds, or...
Boss, don't forget the budget.
Yeah, okay. Got anything a little more, down to earth?
Down to earth. Oh, well, we do a mean humbly enough. Real hearty dish with a ton of flavor, and we don't skimp on the portion size either. That'd be the best value for your Mora.
Warum müssen die aufs Geld schauen? Der Ayato ist doch dabei, hat er keins?
Humbly enough, huh? Oh, sounds like my kind of grub. We'll take that. No need for anything fancy. We're all friends here.
excellent choice, Ito. I'm no fan of culinary ostentation either. Sometimes a bro just knows,
Was ist das für eine Aussage? A bro just knows.
A bro just knows. Yes, a bro just knows. Bros don't suppose, 'cause bros just knows.
Ey, das ist so bescheuert. Oh.
Is this for real? Oh, whatever. Paimon's leaving you guys to it.
A bros just knows. Wo ist die Shinobu schon wieder? Dass immer irgendjemand drin ist.
Seriously, if I'd blinked, I would have missed it. Crimson Staff just launched itself at Bloom Pruner and sent it flying.
I'd expect no less of the bona fide Beetle Battle King himself. It sounds like a truly epoch-defining duel.
Hab nicht ich alle Kämpfe gewonnen? Was erzählt der für ein Käse?
The air was getting stifling, so I made some excuses and slipped away. Anyway, thanks for taking the hint earlier. I'll fill you in later.
Haben die nicht gesagt, denen zu schmeckt mein Zeug, was ich gemacht habe? Warum steht der Scheiß doch da? Das sind schon 2 Tage, vergammelt es nicht? Seid ihr bescheuert? Wir können doch einfach essen, nicht 2 Tage oder 3 Minuten. Ja gut, die haben auch Fisch seit Monaten.
Gotta say, your friend's quite a character. Still, humbly enough isn't that hard to make, so I don't think we'll have any problems with this order.
Actually, why is it called humbly enough anyway? A hearty meat dish is a good start, but in Paimon's experience, one humble dish is never enough.
I said it was hearty, but I never said it contained meat. Don't be fooled by the appearance. It's actually just tofu, made to look and taste like meat.
Tofu?
Wait, tofu's made of beans, isn't it? Oh, Bullchucker can't eat that. Guess we should get them to pick something else instead.
What's the issue? I think I caught the word tofu.
Wait, what are you doing? The kitchen is staff members only. Never mind. I'll let it slide. Ma'am, could you possibly ask your boss to order something else instead?
No one gets my bro Hayato like I do. I hereby declare that humbly enough will be an everlasting symbol of our friendship, or my name ain't Aratakito! Hey, where's our food at? Hurry up, I'm almost done recounting the epic adventures of Crimson Staff.
As you can see, changing the order may be a little difficult.
Oh, brother, his whole ego is riding on this, huh? Even if we break the news to him, he'd probably rather eat the tofu than eat his words.
Das ist also eine Zwickmühle. Wir müssen dieses Gericht kochen. Wie wär's mit ein paar kostenlose Vorspeisen dazugeben?
Sounds good. I'll make sure he fills up on those. We'll just have to play the rest by ear.
Habe ich das Problem gerade nicht mitbekommen? Ich meine... Also ich meine, ich habe selber noch nie Tofu gegessen, aber... Ich bin gespannt, wer die letzten dann sind. Oh. Ich finde es ein bisschen zu einfach kalten. Das war's schon. Schaut aber auf jeden Fall aus wie Fleisch. Dekoration wechseln.
Food's here.
Oh, so this is humbly enough. You guys don't mess around. Woo! Love me that portion size. Come on, compadre, grab a seat. We're all friends here, so don't hold back. I'm just gonna dig right in.
Boss, we should respect the local customs. Here in Liyue, it's polite to let the guests eat first.
Polite? Shinobu, I thought old-timey traditions weren't your style.
Vielleicht sollte ich als erster zugreifen. Jetzt, wo ich in der Küche fertig bin, bin ich auch eingegangen.
Huh? Are you kidding me, compadre? Oh, wait, I get it. The food smells so dang good, now everyone's dying to go first. Well, guess I only got my own good taste to blame. Go on, dive in. I'll wait till last.
Warum statt Eier tun Palmer und Ayato? Shino bedienen euch reichlich.
I see.
Finally, it's my turn. Woohoo! I spy a big chunk of deliciousness with my name on it.
Das ist auch voll der crazy Blick irgendwie.
Don't.
Huh? Wait, what is it now?
Ja, du machst das schon, Palme, du weißt ja, wie der Hase läuft.
Okay, here goes. Anyway, so, Paimon forgot to tell you the really cool origin story of this dish.
Origin story? Dude, who cares where it came from? We all know where it's going. Am I right? Down the gullet.
Skipping the origin story is like going traveling without a tour guide. Trust Paimon, you get way more out of the experience after you hear it.
War der allergisch gegen Tofu? Nee, irgendwas war.
Paimon makes an astute observation. Much as every tea must be appreciated on its own terms, is it not a waste of the chef's goodwill to sample a dish without hearing its tale?
Ah, jetzt komme ich mit Bohnenallergie. Oh ja, shit.
My compadre's goodwill, huh? Oh, can't have that going to waste. All right then, give me the full story. I'm all ears.
That's more like it. Let's start with the ingredients. Actually, no. Let's start with the story of Wang Xuan.
Now's our chance, traveler.
Hab's. Wenn Ito abgelenkt ist, verschlingen so und Shinobu fleißig das Gericht.
Man, the tale of Dihua Marsh hits hard. People in the past had it pretty rough. Makes you appreciate what you got. Humbly enough, yeah, that's a good way to think about life.
Darn, there's no sad way to tofu from here. How did we get so off topic? Well, good news is there's only a little bit left.
Ja, wir sind schon fast am Platzen.
Oh, compadre, Shinobu, have you been eating this whole time? Save me some dreads, why don't ya? That's it, I'm done waiting. It's my turn to eat.
Wait, boss, that's made of...
One moment, Ito. I have a small request, if you would be so kind as to consider it. I left home in a hurry and was unable to bring any of my family with me. They've all heard so much about you and are huge admirers of the Arataki gang, so they will be devastated to learn that they missed out on this opportunity. However, if you were willing to let me bring the remaining portion of Humbly Enough back to them, I'm sure it will help to lift their spirits.
Yeah, I don't know.
Boss, you gotta do right by your friends. They're pretty big on that in Liyue. Besides, you did eat quite a lot of the grilled fish while we were waiting for the main course. Including mine and Ayato's.
Huh? Oh, those were for you guys? Ah, dang it! I got too carried away telling that story, didn't I? In that case, pass my regards to your fan, bro. El Chefe, can we get the rest of this to go?
Oh, wow.
Count Crushmore. Instant kill. I never knew there were so many elite beetle fighters in Liyue.
Du bist doch nicht wirklich wegen des Käferkampfturniers gekommen, oder?
Can you imagine? That would be tardiness of the most unfashionable variety. No, in truth, this trip is part business, part leisure.
Warum warst du doch nicht beim Laternenritual dabei?
Every visitor has their own agenda. For some, the festivities are all the more reason to visit. For others, all the more reason to avoid the crowds. In any case, one way or another, I seem to have ended up in the right place at the right time. Now, as for the leftover tofu... Yes, I'm sure Toma will dispose of it as he sees fit.
I have to get back to the docks as soon as this meal is done.
Warum seid ihr denn wirklich nach Liyue gekommen?
Well, thing is...
I can explain. Boss recently found work as a sailor, which allowed him to hitch a ride here. After the ship docked, he had some free time to do as he pleases. He's been using that time to hang out with Grandmaster Hanakato.
Just because he's here already! No other reason!
Ach, mehr nicht? Ich dachte, er hat jetzt so das Schiff verpasst oder sowas.
Skyward! Scatter!
Looks like that's all sorted. All right. Take some time to collect yourself. The next big group is coming in.
Der Rest des Tages verläuft dann ohne weitere Zwischenfälle. Ja, Ito ist ein einziger Zwischenfall. So. Jetzt gibt es ein kleines Päuschen. Geht es überhaupt noch? Und dann geht's gleich weiter. Wieso reist eigentlich Ayato mit Ito und... Ne, mit Ayaka. Ja, die wird wahrscheinlich zu Hause aufpassen müssen. Wer weiß, was er wieder vorhat. Da. Also dann, bis gleich. So, weiter geht's.
If you are presently unoccupied, perhaps we could stop.
Stimmt, wir müssen ja... Schon wieder 6? Die verarschen mich doch, oder? Ach so, warte mal. Ne, geht es immer absichtlich bis früh um 6 dann? Wie spät kommen denn noch Leute?
Once abode for some repose and conversation.
So, mal schauen, wer sind die Letzten aus Liebe
How
oder aus
time
Münster?
flies. My burns are almost healed now, so I should be ready to take back the kitchen tomorrow. You've really gone above and beyond these past few days. Last day today. Here's hoping we get through it without incident.
Why does Paimon feel like you just jinxed us again?
Tag vergeht ohne Zwischenfälle. Oh, das wird nicht gut.
We made it all the way to the evening. It ended up being a pretty smooth day after all. Maybe it's because we've gotten so experienced at running this whole thing. We've come a long way since our first day on the job, haven't we? Back then, we were struggling to remember who ordered what. But everything's a piece of cake now.
Der Tag ist noch nicht vorbei.
Yeah, but who would come by this late in the evening? Actually, now that Paimon thinks of it, Lenny and his siblings came around about this time the first day, didn't they?
Okay, mit denen habe ich jetzt nicht gerechnet. Aber der Mika, den wo ich heute schon mal erwähnt habe, ist auf jeden Fall dabei.
Traveler? Paimon? Fancy seeing you two here.
Amber? And Eula and Mika, too! Are you here for dinner? Why so late in the day?
We just finished an escort mission for a merchant caravan. The original plan was to make do with some rations for this evening and continue our trek north towards Stonegate. But Captain Eula brought up the fact that none of us have eaten Liyue cuisine for quite some time. We thought we might as well swing by the inn and see if we can still order something.
Ooh, so this is Eula's treat, huh?
We've been eating the same rations for the entire trip, so I simply thought it was high time we had ourselves a proper meal. Do you have a problem with that?
Überhaupt nicht. Willkommen im Gasthaus Wangshu.
Good question. What should we get? Wait a sec. Why are you taking our order?
The Traveler's been filling in for the chef here. You came at just the right time. You'll be the last customers to enjoy her cooking before the original chef takes back the reins.
Wow, really? Good thing Eula suggested we come here. I wouldn't want to miss this. So, what shall we get? I'm not as familiar with Liyue cuisine as I used to be. Mika, Eula, what are you in the mood for?
Anything goes. I'm just looking forward to trying the honorary knight's cooking for myself. I'm sure it'll be a great learning opportunity for me.
Something small, I suppose. We have to hit the road again after we eat. Beyond that...
Wasn't it your idea to come here, though? Eesh, this is like getting blood from a stone. All right, guess it's up to you, Amber. You name it, we'll cook it.
Huh? Then I guess... I don't really mind either. Anything goes.
Die schlimmsten, was er am Anfang erwähnt hat.
I'm sorry. I really can't think of anything off the top of my head. I mean, I could pick from the menu at random, but I'd feel more comfortable leaving the chef to choose.
Oh, one thing. I know I said I don't mind what we have, but no alcohol, please. Neither of them can drink. It's a real pity.
I've still got some sparkling water here.
Ja, das Sparkling Water macht's besser.
Yeah, skyward, scatter!
Anything goes, huh? Oh dear. This is a chef's worst nightmare. With no idea of your customers' palates, you're left to make a wild guess. Still, now that you've worked in the kitchen for so many days, I have faith that you'll be able to figure it out. Go on. Show them what you've got.
Das heißt Tage, ich habe nur 3 Dinger gemacht. Lass mich mal nachdenken. Was mögen Sie? Wonach könnten Sie es Sie verlangen? Einfach irgendwas ist der Name. Ein aus Schinkenvogel und anderen Zutaten zubereitetes simples Gericht mit rauchigem Aroma, das mit Reis gebraten wird. Angeblich gilt gebratener Reis in der Küche oft als erste Wahl. Dann bleibt dieses vermeintlich einfache Gericht hervorragend der allgemeinen... Okay. Was ist das für eine Aussage? Du kannst nicht in ein Restaurant gehen oder sagen, ich nehme einfach irgendwas. Ja, wobei, Empfehlung des Hauses gibt es ja oft. Haben wir gerade eine Blume da reingeschnitten? Ja, ist ja egal. Okay. Ist halt wirklich einfach irgendwas. Reis mit einem Haufen Zeug drin, das kann ich auch. Mit Wasser und Brot, ja. Hatte ich das schon oder den grünen Teller? Ich bin mir gerade nicht sicher. Shit. Ich habe das gehabt, dann nehmen wir das da. Hab ich den Lotus dazu schon mal gehabt? Ach, scheißegal, wir nehmen den Lotus.
This is delicious. Perfectly seasoned, and even the rice is bursting with flavor.
Nothing like a piping hot meal served straight from the stove. I've missed this.
You've put the finest Favonian field rations to shame, and that's no mean feat. So, tell us, traveler, what's this one called?
It's called... Paimon's guessing we can't just call it anything goes, right? Oh, hell, Paimon doesn't know how to explain this dish at all. It's got no name, it's just basic ingredients simply cooked.
Basic ingredients? Simply cooked? Really? I could have sworn that you put something fancy in here. Or gave it some kind of chef's magic touch.
Es ist nicht das feinste Gericht der Welt, aber es ist das, was ich gerade nötig habe.
Not the finest dish in the world, but the one they need right now. Okay, you've lost Paimon. What do you mean?
Ihr seid schon lange unterwegs und ihr habt die ganze Zeit nur Feldration gegessen.
So you mean we only think this is delicious because we're so hungry? There's got to be more to it than that.
Perhaps the fact that the aroma of freshly cooked hot food is a welcome change from cold, pre-prepared rations.
Oh, kinda like the feeling of waking up to the smell of freshly baked bread in the morning?
Yeah, it's almost like we're back at Good Hunter again.
But Good Hunter's in Mondstadt. Why make a point of trying Liyue cuisine if you can't even taste the difference?
Oh, I'm not talking about the taste. I just meant the feeling of comfort, you know? It's like the feeling of coming home.
Comfort. Coming home. Well, Yanxiao did say we want to make our guests feel right at home.
Was ein leckeres Gericht lecker macht, ist sehr subjektiv. Jeder hat seine eigenen Vorlieben. Aber es liegt am Koch, sich in die Position eines jeden Gastes zu versetzen und herauszufinden, was er möchte. Und das ist eine Leidenschaft eines Koches, der seinen Gästen sein Lächeln aufs Gesicht zaubert. Das hätte er auch selber vorlesen können.
So in other words, the secret ingredient is passion?
Ja, Leidenschaft. Ist wie die Kraft der Freundschaft, wenn du kämpfst. Scheiß drauf, wie gut der Gegner trainiert ist. Die Kraft der Freundschaft. Oder Leidenschaft beim Kochen.
Despite how terribly cliched that sounds, I'll admit that it holds true for this meal. Well played. Mark my words, I'll remember this recipe.
Okay, but you can't really have a recipe without a name, though, right? Have we come up with a name for this dish yet?
Soweit habe ich noch gar nicht gedacht. Habt ihr irgendwelche Ideen?
How about right at home?
The rations we brought were adapted from my signature moon pies to come up with something even tastier. I gotta hand it to you. You did a great job. Still, please do drop by and try a few Stormcrest pies next time you're in town. I insist.
I insist. Amber?
Sorry. I zoned out just now. Didn't see you coming.
Ist was auf dem Herzen?
Yeah, that food you cooked for us just now, it reminded me of the meals my grandfather used to make for me. I thought I'd forgotten how they tasted, but it all came rushing back. He used to make Liyue dishes all the time. I'd do my outrider training with him until the evening, then wait patiently at the dinner table. I'd sit there with the smell of delicious food wafting in from the kitchen, waiting for him to finally emerge with the goods. Sometimes we'd have Eula around for dinner, and even though she'd always find something to complain about, I could tell she really enjoyed the food.
Vielleicht ist der wahre Grund für ihren Vorschlag, Liyue Küche zu essen.
Your words, not mine. Don't ask her about it. She'll only give you another earful.
Halt, warte, er ist ja hier.
Back when I was on the expedition with the Grand Master, I was often put in charge of cooking. Under the circumstances, I could only cook some pretty crude meals. But everyone still enjoyed them a lot. Maybe passion was the secret ingredient then, too.
Erzähl es mal einem Meisterkoch. Ey, ich hab da Leidenschaft reingepackt. Das ist besser,
There
als du
you
denkst.
are. Thank you for all of your hard work over the past few days.
Mit Vergnügen. Vorausgesetzt, ich werde noch bezahlt, versteht sie.
Straight down to brass tacks, are we? Here, take it. I've thrown in a little extra as well. Call it a bonus. Hard.
Yay! It's like all the tiredness and stress have suddenly melted away.
I'm just lucky you only worked on this job for a few days. At the rate you were progressing, a few more weeks and I think I might be made redundant.
Ich freue mich darauf, deine Küche in Zukunft wieder zu probieren.
Anytime. Bring some friends with you next time, and I'll show you all what Smiley Yenshao can do when working with both hands intact.
Great! Although, just to be on the safe side, cook carefully in the meantime. You may have just jinxed it again.
Okay, zu Hause auf Reisen. Ah, sehr gut. Ich habe alles einmal gezeigt. Blickst du in echten Gerichten original gerade nach? Allein der Anblick weckt Erinnerung. Schade, dass man das nicht essen kann. Ah, okay. Das hat sich erklärt mit dem Ding. Wo ich vorhin gemeint habe, das gammelt doch darum. So. Haben wir jetzt da eigentlich noch irgendwie was zum Einsammeln oder haben wir das alles bekommen? Oh, man hat da zusätzlich noch was gekriegt fürs Abschließen einfach. Die kleinen Chibi-Bilder. So, und jetzt machen wir das. Hä? Oh, ich habe die Dailies nie fertig gemacht, fällt mir gerade auf. Die machen wir doch schnell fertig. Und dann machen wir das mit der Xianyun. Ich habe gar nicht gewusst, dass wir vorhin gar nicht beendet haben. Ich habe einfach die eine Ding fertig gemacht und dann, okay, passt schon. Na, okay, das wird das beschützen. Weißt du, ich benutze immer wieder, aber ich habe sie bisher noch kaum gelevelt, ey. Echt? Jetzt musst du da runterrutschen. Furina.
I have a high...
Hey!
Strike a pose!
Schnell das Ding abholen. Und dann haben wir endlich diesen Legendenauftrag, ey. Cool ist und schnell sie werden können öfter machen als die öden Kampf-Events. Ja, aber die Kampf-Events kannst du wahrscheinlich einfach mal schneller dazwischen knallen. Weil du nicht viel machen musst. Wobei für das Ganze, das zu programmieren, ist wahrscheinlich... Naja, du musst halt die ganzen Sprecher dann holen, ne? So, Aufträge. Gibt es eigentlich noch einen irgendwas? Ne, es ist schon bloß der. Stimmt, Farusan haben wir ja eigentlich auch komplett noch nie gemacht, ne? Müssen wir bei Gelegenheit mal machen. Achso, ich habe schon die meisten. Da. Garus Sera. Stimmt, wir sollten uns ja setzen, um was zu essen. Damit die Shenhe uns das Essen bringen kann. Oder? Gehen wir aus dem Weg jetzt da.
It is just as one expected. The owner of Wanmin Restaurant is indeed a most reasonable and accommodating human. Still, the work here entails dealing with quite a varied group of people. Has this been difficult for you, Shenhe?
It's been manageable so far. I sometimes run into strange people, but I have figured out a way to deal with them.
Seems like you've been making progress. So by dealing with them, you mean...
First, I try to talk sense into them. If that doesn't work, I threaten them with violence. At this point, they usually decide they are in favor of a civil conversation.
Ich wusste, dass es drauf hinausläuft. Erst rede ich mit ihm vernünftig und dann gibt's einen Handkartenschlag. Ha!
Oh, how should Paimon put this?
Das hört sich ganz vernünftig an.
Oh, a sensible plan. One is gladdened to see you integrate so well into human society.
Ich wusste, dass sie es auch gut findet.
And you, Master? How have you been?
Simply marvelous. Though Mount Outsong has scarcely enjoyed your presence recently, one has hardly found the pleasure of one's own company to be lacking.
I see. Oh, just as expected of Master.
Das ist Sarkasmus? Ja, okay. Sie möchte damit eigentlich sagen, dass ihr euch beide sehr vermisst habt.
I have missed Master quite a bit too. Even though work has been busy lately, I've already had a conversation with Chef Mao about taking some time off soon to visit Master.
Oh, you did? Do make note of such matters in your letters in the future. There's hardly a need to keep one in suspense.
Whoa, her mood shot up just like that.
By the way, Master, since you are in Liyue Harbor, have you had the chance to visit Ganyu?
Indeed. She is similarly preoccupied with her work. There was time only to exchange a few simple pleasantries.
Ganyu told us the story of Cloud Retainer's name. It was amazing. We never knew how powerful she was before.
I see. In that case, allow me to also share a story about Master's past.
Oh, weh.
Oh?
Is that a problem, Master? I believe this to be a good topic of conversation.
No, not a problem. One was simply caught off guard. But no matter. Please, proceed. One is most curious to see how much of one's own conversational prowess you possess.
Master once participated in a race against Mooncarver. After Mooncarver lost, he insisted that Master's ability to fly gave her a natural edge in such a contest. In response, Master agreed to forego flying in return for being able to use one of her devices in the race. Mooncarver accepted, only to find Master with a brand new device on the day of the contest.
Huh, what kind of device was it?
Rakete?
It was a mechanical vehicle made out of iron. What was it called again? Oh, an electro-powered bicycle?
Echt, der Fahrrad, Alter, elektrisches.
Oh, you refer to the bicyclical Thunder Flashmobile. One spent 49 days conceptualizing and crafting it. It need only be infused with adeptal energy, and it can cover thousands of miles in one day.
Wow, aber der Name, Alter, zweirädriges Donnerblitzmobil.
Oh, it boggles the mind why Mooncarver ever supposed he might best me in a contest of locomotion. Though he sprinted with all his might, he could barely keep up.
Das ist auch geil. Oh, hey, Mr. Hirsch, machen wir ein Wettrennen. Ich baue ein Auto oder ein Motorrad, Alter, und du hast halt Pech gehabt. Dass er sich auch drauf eingelassen hat, der war schon echt doof.
Alas, the one flaw of my mechanism lay in its weakness against mountainous terrain. One was thwarted mere seconds from victory, when it was thrown off course and failed to make it across the final stretch. Truly a most unfortunate turn of events. Anyway, do go on, Shenhe.
Wenn sie so schlau ist, Alter, warum und solche Sachen machen kann, warum nicht dann eigentlich irgendwie keine Busse oder irgend so einen Scheiß machen? Die könnten mal gescheite Straßen bauen und dann mit Bussen überall hinfahren.
Master, that was the end of that story.
Is that so? Huh. With you gone, one has seldom felt the desire to call upon those old fossils for another contest. What is a race without spectators, after all?
Have you been lonely, Master?
Lonely? Huh. At one's age, entire human generations come and go in the blink of an eye. Even one's own self-directed musings can span several days and nights.
Persönliche Tagträume, die war ein paar Tage und Nächte dauern. Wow. Guckt sich so hin, so, oh, es wäre schon cool, wenn ich jetzt das und das hätte. 5 Tage später, was ist los?
'Tis a most foreign sentiment. The mere mention of it is preposterous. What is the reason for that look upon your face?
It's nothing. It's just... Well, Paimon gained a lot of respect for you after listening to that story of you summoning the rain and everything. But all it took was a few words out of your mouth and it's like you're back to being that illuminated bird again.
Was ist das da mit seinem Ring da, was er hat, der Traveler? Ist das ein SOS-Signal? Blink. Blink.
I was just a little bit confused. Which one of the two is the real Cloud Retainer?
To me, they are both, Master. One is the master that's widely revered by the people, while the other is the master that I respect and adore.
Huh. One finds oneself exalted yet again with sweet words of praise and flattery of a most extravagant nature. You chose to exalt one with your words, yet you refuse to grace Mount Outsong with your presence for any extended period of time. One would almost question the sincerity of your estimations.
Oh, wie sie schmollt.
This is not to say that your words paint an inaccurate picture. One has always lived by a single ideal. Eschew all action and abide by no rule. One does as one pleases and speaks as one pleases. Others may critique or praise as they see fit, yet one places little weight in such judgments.
She got like, what, 2 sentences of flattery from her disciple? And it's as if her ego is about to burst.
Ich kann nicht wegschauen vor dem scheiß Ring, Alter.
Do you have any empty tables?
Hey there, could we get another fish stew?
I'm hearing more guests come in. I should get back to work.
All right, good luck with the lunchtime rush, Shenhe.
Mm-hmm. I'll try my best.
Während immer mehr Gäste eintrudeln, ergreift Paimon die Gelegenheit und bestellt eine ganze Reihe feiner Gerichte. Ja, das...
So much yummy food! Paimon's gonna feast!
Schmeckt dir das Essen, Fürstin? Entspricht das Essen deinem Geschmack?
One is fond of all kinds of delicacies and delights in a multitude of flavors. The dishes here demonstrate no shortage of culinary skill. Their unique flavor profile has left one more than satisfied. In fact, one has been struck by quite the fit of inspiration. one has already begun to conceptualize the next generation of supreme cuisine machines.
Everything's so tasty. A bit too hot at times, but still super tasty.
I'm sorry, miss, but our tables are full.
Shall we try somewhere else, Granny?
But it smells so delightful. Can we really not eat here? My poor legs can't go on for much longer.
Well, you could always check with some of the other guests and see if anyone's happy to share a table.
Okay, I'll ask around. Excuse me. Would you mind letting us share a table with you? There are no empty tables left, so...
Ah, well, Paimon doesn't mind. What about you guys?
Ich habe auch nichts dagegen. Solange es unser Geplauder nicht stört. Ah, guten Abend, Fabian.
Great! Thanks so much. My name is Xianyun, and this is my granny, Yuendai.
Yuendai.
Granny?
Yep. Is there something wrong with that?
No, Paimon's just a bit surprised. She looks so young.
Eigentlich nicht.
Yeah. A lot of people compliment Granny on her youthful looks, but she's actually much older than she appears.
Oh, sie kennt sie.
Granny? Why don't you take a seat? Come on, it's not polite to stare.
Huh. Have we met before?
No.
'Tis a fated meeting, then. Please, take a seat.
What would you like to eat, Granny? I can order for you.
I want braised earthworms. They always pop up out of the ground after a rainstorm.
Was?
No, not this again. Granny, there's no braised earthworms on the menu.
Geschmorte Regenwürmer, Alter, echt.
Braised earthworms? Well, that sounds weird. Do people actually eat that?
Fragen kann sicher nicht schaden.
Right, that's what Paimon was thinking too. Need any help?
Help? Oh, do you mean with Granny? Thanks, that's nice of you to offer. Granny has pretty bad dementia, so her memory's getting worse all the time. She's always saying things that sound kinda confusing. Actually, her memory's been bad ever since I was little. But it's gotten so bad lately that I even have to remind her who I am every morning.
Was ist denn mit deinen Eltern?
They died young. It's just me and Granny now. Oh,
Stimmt, ja, die hockt auf ihren Haaren. Oder?
But it's okay. Don't feel bad. Granny loves me a lot, and I love her a lot too. Sure, it's hard at times, but you just gotta make the best of the life you've got.
Wow, you're really tough for your age, kid.
You're too kind.
And me? Oh, what about me?
You're tough too, Granny. Plus, you're really gentle, and you're always there for me.
Yes, and it's hardly as if I forget everything. I still remember the important things. Wait, what was that really important thing again? Ah, I remember now. It was a dream. I had a dream where everything was dark. Someone was standing in front of me. She told me to come and find her, and that once I'd found her, I would be free.
Huh? That sounds super important. But how come you've never told me about it before?
It was just a dream, so I forgot about it. But I'm in a good mood now, and somehow I remembered it again. You know, I believe I've had this dream a great many times. But just how many times have I had it? Now that I do not remember.
Wait, so you have a reoccurring dream where someone's talking to you? That sounds spooky. Oh, does that mean you're possessed?
Unlikely. Her eyes are clear, and her breathing remains calm and level. One sees no signs of possession.
Are you sure?
Who do you take me for? Is one not an adept? Am I not an expert?
You're right. Paimon almost forgot you're the expert. In that case, do you still remember what the person in your dreams looked like, Granny?
Not anymore. Although, I have a sense that she looked rather like me. But not as I am now. My younger self.
A younger version of Granny? This is just getting weirder and weirder. What is going on here?
Ich habe keine Ahnung.
As one said, fate must have brought us together. You may leave this situation to me.
Are you sure? So, what are your names? Paimon's Paimon.
Ah, und ich bin Soras.
Just Xianyun is fine.
Thank you all so much for offering to help. But first, I'm sorry for asking, but, how do you want us to pay you back? Oh, we don't need any payment for this.
Ach, plötzlich. Wir sind bloß interessiert in eurer Situation und würden gern helfen, wenn wir können.
Thank you so much. You're welcome. But Miss Xianyun, what exactly can we do to help out this granny? All we have to go off is that dream. Where do we start?
That is elementary. Since her dreams portray her younger self, then we shall retrace the steps of her youth. Once we have revisited those places, her memories will likely return.
Sounds like a plan. So, Granny, do you remember which places you went to when you were young?
Why, of course I do. The heavens above, the earth below, the wispy clouds, and the emerald mountain streams.
Okay, taking that as a no. I might have an idea. Once, when I was really little, my dad told me that Granny used to be a martial artist heroine who saved loads of people from a disaster. If it's true, then maybe they wrote about it in the history books or something. A martial arts heroine? Oh, Shinjo knows tons about Liyue's chivalric traditions. If anyone knows about the heroes of the past, it's him. Let's go find him at the Feiyun Commerce Guild.
Are you leaving already? But I'm still hungry.
I'll go order some food, Granny. If there's nothing on the menu you especially want, I'll just get a few different things.
It seems we must part ways for now. The Traveler and Paimon are bound for the Feiyun Commerce Guild, while Yuendai and Shuyu shall remain here and partake of their lunch. As for myself, I have matters to discuss with Streetward Rambler.
Das Singen und so des Streunens? Ist das die alte?
Streetward Rambler?
Ah.
Madam Ping!
Precisely. Let us meet at Yujing Terrace once you are ready.
Das hat eine lustige Wendung genommen. Ich habe gedacht, es geht eigentlich...
Where are you going, Granny? Don't you like the food?
Fresh milk. I need to buy you some fresh milk.
Milk? Why?
You need to drink milk before eating, or the spicy food will make you cry. Hush, little one. Don't cry.
Granny, you're forgetting things again. I'm not a little baby anymore. I can eat spicy food now. Even the super spicy dishes, like their fish stew. I can eat 2 whole bowls, no problem.
Wonderful. How wonderful. My darling granddaughter is all grown up.
Okay. Also, wir müssen zum Waterboy. Waterboy. Ja, da steht es sogar rum.
Huh. It's you two. What brings you here?
Ja, wir sind nicht freiwillig hier.
Shinjo! Great, we found you! We wanted to ask you about something.
Ihr erklärt schön so die Situation.
That's not a whole lot of information to go off of. I don't know if I can say for sure.
Ist schon in Ordnung, jeder Hinweis hilft und ist willkommen.
I can't pinpoint her identity from your description alone. But considering her age, I am reminded of a nameless heroine who's been featured in various chivalric novels.
Nameless heroine?
That's right. The novels often speak of a great drought from 50 years ago. As the people suffered, a nameless heroine appeared and began to clear away evil spirits and bandit camps. The people idolized her, but never learned her name. All they knew was that she always acted alone. Later, though, she supposedly fell in love with a similarly noble-minded exorcist from Mount Tianheng. They were well matched in more ways than one, often fighting together as a fearsome duo of otherworldly strength. After the drought ended, the heroine and the exorcist left the public eye and began living a reclusive life in the mountains. All that remained were tales of her incredible accomplishments. The way this nameless heroine faded from fame into obscurity later in life is not too dissimilar from Miss Yuendai. I hope that's somewhat helpful.
Thanks a lot, Xingqiu. We knew it'd be worth talking to you.
It's nothing at all. Just something I came across while reading. I did do a bit of extra research on her story, but it was just out of personal curiosity.
Well, Paimon still thinks that's super cool. Oh, wait, Xingqiu, if you've read up on her, do you know of any places often associated with her?
Let me think. In the novels, the nameless heroine always appeared near one of 3 places. Wangshu Inn, the area just north of Jueyun Karst, and Qingyun Peak. Perhaps the real-life heroine who inspired the character was also often seen near those 3 places. That would explain why those locations appear in the various novels written about her.
Du warst uns eine große Hilfe.
You're welcome. To be honest, I found some parts of the story confusing when I first came across it. If Miss Yuendai was indeed the original inspiration for the character, she may just be able to help me put the pieces together. It's rare for a chivalric hero to fade into obscurity during their lifetime, even after retiring from the public eye. But no one ever saw or heard from the nameless heroine again. There were even rumors that she became extremely ill. I've never understood why someone would go to such lengths to erase themselves from public memory. It's almost as if she was trying to hide from something. There's probably far more to the story than what's been written.
We'll be sure to tell you if we manage to uncover the truth.
That's a deal. Perhaps, behind the truth of it all, there lies a story more fantastical than any work of fiction.
Paimon feels like we just learned so much from Xingqiu. A drought, a nameless heroine, a life of seclusion. Wait, why does the story sound super familiar? Oh, right! There's a drought in this story, too! Xingqiu, are droughts super common in Liyue or something?
Well, they used to be. But people have long since developed methods to prevent them, like by cultivating the soil or digging canals. So while droughts do happen from time to time, they are rarely regarded as true disasters. The drought 50 years ago is probably one of the worst we've had in the last several centuries. The crops withered, the streams ran dry, and the monsters in the mountains became rabid and agitated. Countless caravans were attacked, and people who lost their homes came together to form bandit groups. What started as a natural disaster soon became a human tragedy as well.
That sounds awful.
Yeah, and that's exactly why the nameless heroine was so beloved. She must have been someone of true integrity, to do so much for the people while asking nothing in return. Still, as terrible as that drought was, it was nothing compared to the truly calamitous disasters that befell this land in ancient times. They say that back in those days, disasters were both more severe and more common. Only the strongest of Adepti could hope to dispel the ruin and devastation. Do you have any other questions?
We're good for now. We're just going to head meet up with Miss Xianyun and the others again. Paimon hopes that Granny Yuendai will be able to remember more of her past. She used to be a great hero who saved many people. So sad that she can't recall any of it. Anyway, we'll be off now. See you some other time, Xingqiu. Thank you so much for your help.
It's no problem at all. Safe travels.
Okay. Ja, aber hört sich das nicht eher nach der Dinge? Ah, da vorne gleich. Stimmt ja, wir sollen uns mit hier treffen.
So, are you buying or not?
No, jetzt. Ach stimmt, wir müssen jetzt so Ping. Pinky Ping. Da.
I have recorded the tune that you requested. I hope it will be of help to you.
Oh.
Oh, thank you. Straight word, but Ping. What has amused you so?
Oh, it's no serious matter. I was just reminiscing about the last time I saw you in this form. Time has wrought such change in this world, and yet you appear just the same as ever.
Time has little bearing on one's existence, nor has one keenly felt its effects whilst dwelling at Mount Outsong. Nevertheless, Ping, one would like to seek your counsel on a personal matter.
Oh, why so formal all of a sudden? I must say, you're making me a little nervous. What is it?
Well, the inquiry is as such. Approximately how much more would one need to afford a comfortable life in the harbor, not unlike the one that you yourself lead?
It does not require as much as you may think. Still, do you mean that...
Cloud Retainer, Madam Ping! What are you two talking about?
Nothing save for some trivial matters. Have you unearthed any useful details?
Xingqiu has a theory, but let's save it for when Chuyu and Miss Yuendai have joined up with us again.
Bald treffen Shunya und Hyundai ein. Paimon berichtet von Shinchos Theorie.
Do not be troubled, young lady. Here, have some tea.
Thank you so much. What do you think, Chuyu? Does it match up with what you know of your granny?
According to this story, the nameless heroine eventually fell in love with an exorcist from Mount Tianheng. Maybe that's my grandpa. I don't have many memories of him, but there was this one time I found a box in our attic full of a bunch of weird sigils.
Ah, scheint die Geschichte weist auf die richtige Spur. 3 Orte, die in den Büchern erwähnt wurden, einen Besuch
I
abstatten.
think so too. Granny might remember something once she's returned to a familiar place.
What marvelous tea. I can taste the dew's sweetness in this cup. It's as if I was taking a stroll in the mountains, thoroughly one with nature and at peace.
Is that so? Then please drink as much as you like. There's no need to hurry. At our age, it's always nice to slow down and take the time to appreciate pleasant conversation among friends.
Thank you.
Lassen wir uns dann eine Weile hier ausruhen.
Okay, since we have the time, can I ask you something?
Sure thing. What would you like to know?
I have a secret I want to tell you. Let's go talk over there.
This is a peaceful neighborhood.
Wir hätten jetzt auch so hingehen können.
What's wrong, Chuyu?
Well, I've been kind of meaning to ask ever since we started talking in the restaurant. But are you guys all adepti in disguise?
Oh! How about that?
Warum fragst du?
Well, you guys just seem super special. Plus,
I think I might have heard Miss Xianyun call herself an Adeptus. Oh, must have been a slip of the tongue. Xianyun, since you were the one who, misspoke, maybe you can explain to Shuyu here what you really meant by that.
One is indeed an Adeptus. Is that of some concern to you?
Krass, wie sie es jetzt einfach raushaut.
I knew it.
Du hörst dich kein bisschen überrascht an.
Well, one time when I was a little kid, I saw a pure white illuminated crane. I had this super high fever, and Granny wasn't around. I was feeling all icky and gross. But then this snowy white crane flew down from the sky. She put me on her back and flew me to her cool Adeptus house and fed me some sort of magic potion. When I woke up, I was already back in my bed and my fever was gone.
Oh.
I really wanted to thank her, but I was too sleepy to stay awake, so I never got the chance. So I just kind of wanted to ask if maybe any of you have ever met an Adeptus like that? A pure white illuminated crane? The only two we've ever met are blue and white and black and brown. Have you ever met one that's pure white, Cloud Retainer?
Never has one met an Adeptus with such features. One surmises such a description is but a hyperbolic embellishment that oft results from narrative accounts.
Ist sie nicht fast komplett weiß? Ich meine, die paar Streifen kannst du auch ignorieren.
That's weird. Was it really just a dream then? Well, even if it was just in my head, it doesn't matter that much anyway. All I really want is to help Granny recover her memories. I'm really grateful for all your help. Leave it to us! Now that we know the 3 locations, we just need to visit them one by one. Let's go to Wangshu Inn first. Okay, I'll go get Granny.
Ich dachte, die fragen sie jetzt oder so.
I see everything.
Das war jetzt zu versehen. Hey, Pingy.
Leaving already? Well, just remember that you can come over for a cup of tea anytime.
Es wird Zeit, dass du mal deine normale Form wieder annimmst, ey. Die war eigentlich auch relativ cool. Wobei die Madame Ping eigentlich dann auch fehlen würde, wenn sie in der Form. Hä? Oh, direkt in die Story rein.
Wangshu Inn. Wangshu Inn.
Do you remember this place, Granny?
Yes. The fish here is very delicious. And if you look out into the distance, you can always spot a bird that's been left behind by its flock. I believe I used to have a room here. It had a window. Yes, I spent a lot of time looking out that window. Which room was it again? Let me look.
I'll come with. Paimon's still having some trouble understanding what she's talking about, but if she's so familiar with this place, that must mean she lived here, right? Wait, huh? Whoa! Shut up! What are you doing here all of a sudden? You scared the living daylights out of Paimon!
I sensed a non-human presence and decided to come take a look. If you're here, then there's likely no trouble afoot. I suppose there's no cause for concern. It's been a while, Cloud Retainer. I see you have returned to your previous form.
Ja, ihr habt sie schon mal in diese Gestalt getroffen.
I have indeed. I fought alongside her in this form on many occasions during the Archon War.
Oh, wow! What was she like during the war? Oh, wait, let Paimon take a guess. Was it anything like this?
Behold, the glory of one's newest invention, the Bang Bang Continuous Fire Mechanism. Hands up and surrender, or be prepared to face the full might of the Adepti.
Paimon, Alter, was ist denn das jetzt? Warum die steht neben dir?
An impressive imitation.
Was?
Paimon knows her all too well.
Wie geil, Alter.
Even so, Cloud Retainer was not always as ostentatious as you describe. You may be unaware, but her talent with Adepti sigils is just as formidable as her skill in mechanics. The Archon War reached its peak after Guizhong's death. The Cloud Retainer who fought beside me in those devastating battles was taciturn and solemn, only speaking when she had to activate her sigils.
A cloud retainer who barely talks? Paimon can't picture it. But what happened after that? If you were so powerful in your human form, why did you decide to take up your bird form again?
Once one had bid farewell to the world of mortals, what use would one still have for such a shape? When dwelling between mountain and forest, away from the struggles and troubles of the mortal world, a mortal form is hardly the most fitting of choices.
After the war, Cloud Retainer retired to Mount Outsong, only revealing herself to the occasional visitor, and always in her avian form. Although I do believe there was an occasion some 30-odd years ago, when she decided to don her human form.
One believes there is little need to relive bygone matters.
Was ist jetzt schon wieder?
Granny, are you okay?
Back then, at this place,
Perhaps this conversation should end here. I shall take my leave now. Should you encounter any trouble, you need only call my name. However, given that you are traveling with Cloud Retainer, I trust you are in good hands.
Everyone! I think Granny is finally beginning to remember her past.
Auch mal interessant, dass so viele Chars mit den Legendenauftrag reingenommen haben. Finde ich auch immer gut, wenn nicht immer nur ein Charakter. Klar, es sollte hauptsächlich natürlich um den Charakter gehen. Aber es ist schön, wenn von anderen Charakteren auch mit reinkommt. Und dann vor allem auch hier dann. Ich finde es halt schön, wenn auch ein bisschen solche Sachen erzählt werden von den alten Charakteren, die wo es halt schon 500 oder 1000 oder was der Geil für Jahre gibt. Über das erfährt man halt immer so selten was.
Slowly now, calm your mind and recount what has been recalled.
a long time ago, I stayed here to recuperate from my illness.
Huh. So what Shinto said was true! You did fall ill! Was that why you went into hiding?
I don't remember. I'm very sorry, but I can't even remember the name of my illness. The only thing I can remember is that it took a great toll on me, and there was no cure for it. I was confined to my room in Wangshu Inn, where I spent many days unconscious. I'd come to every once in a while and stare at the migrating birds outside the window. It was a solemn sight. I remember crying, but I'm not even sure I knew why. One day, I met a traveling merchant. Upon hearing of my illness, he sold me a bottle of soul-revitalizing tea pills. He told me that the pills were concocted using Adepti blood and could be used to alleviate my symptoms. Sure enough, I made a full recovery. My illness remained dormant for several decades after that.
Das ist die Demenz, von der du jetzt betroffen bist eigentlich?
Wait, but if your illness remained dormant for several decades, are you saying that what you're going through now is just a relapse of what happened all those years ago?
Mit Adeptenblut?
And it was all thanks to the pills that you managed to keep the symptoms in check? Paimon's brain kinda hurts. Do you remember anything else?
I'm sorry, I don't. Oh, if only I wasn't so useless.
Hey, you're not useless. You've done so much for me. Watched me grow up. Raised me. How could you say that about yourself?
Oh, fret not, dear child. Granny was just a bit frustrated. That's all.
The recovery of a person's memories is a gradual process. Finding pieces of one's past is always superior to not finding anything at all. Let us make haste to the next location.
Next location. Next location. Oh, why don't we go to the area north of Dwayun Karst next? There isn't really a landmark there, so where should we start? Paimon got it. Let's check out the houses in the area first. After all, if she was there for any length of time, then she would have stayed somewhere, right? Oh, Paimon's really got her thinking cap on today. At this rate, we'll recover all of Granny Wendai's memories in no time.
Bin gespannt, wer der Typ mit dem Schnurrbart war. Boah, was zur Hölle? Das sind ja 3 Locations. Ich finde an sich, die könnten mal anfangen, mal mehr über die alten Dinger zu bringen. Aber du kriegst immer so ab und zu ein paar Happen und fertig. Aber gut, das ist jetzt hier auch nicht viel. Die sind hier, um bereit zu sterben. Wobei die eigentlich nicht sterben, die lösen sich ja nur auf.
Do you remember anything about this place, Granny Wendai?
Let me think. I feel like I've been here before. But I don't think I stayed here too long. I might have just rested here briefly before continuing on my way.
Got it. That's okay. There are still plenty of other places we can check.
Wait a second. If I remember correctly, I believe I brought... Ah, yes. I brought some sweet snacks with me. Go on, take some. You need to eat a lot if you want to grow big and strong.
Oh, thank you! Then Paimon will help herself.
Ist ja auch cool, wenn du eigentlich nichts machen musst. Alle verbinden, deine Viecher draufhetzen. Fertig. Gehen wir erstmal da hoch. Farina hat sich das wahrscheinlich auch besser vorgestellt, wenn sie im Team mit dem Traveler ist. Scheiße, jetzt muss ich über da hochklettern. Okay, dann greifst du dich halt näher nicht an. Kann mich Schatzräuber eigentlich noch Gegner nennen? Die sind eh nur noch wie Sandsäcke. Ja, sowieso. Schatzräuber sind eher auf einem Niveau von Slimes und so. Wobei die Slimes sogar noch nervig sein können, wenn die Steinfuzis haben und du gerade keinen dabei hast, der die locker weghauen kann.
This place, it's...
Hast du vorher gelebt?
Did you remember something, Granny? I remember. Xianyun, this is where your father was born. It was a moonless night. I had been injured, so your grandpa was supporting me. We fled together with some being in the fog behind us in hot pursuit. I had exhausted my strength when the labor pains came on, so we took refuge in this house. Your grandpa set up a barrier outside, but neither of us knew if it could hold the monsters back. I remember that night. I remember falling to my knees, reciting a prayer over and over. I alone am the source of this sin. Punish me as you wish for forsaking my oath, but spare my innocent child.
Sin? Oath? Did you do something wrong?
I don't know. I don't remember. I only remember praying in the darkness with all my strength until the sun finally rose again and the fog cleared out. Eventually, the house was filled with the sound of my baby's first cries. That baby was your father. I remember I clutched him tight to my chest and wept tears of joy. It was my dad. He was my pride and joy, and so are you, Xianyun. You're so much like him, and I love you both so much. But you're always going to be different from me. Why? Just what did I do?
I don't care what you might have done, Granny. You'll always be the person I love more than anything.
You're too sweet, Xianyun. I'm lucky to have you with me. If not for you, I would not have had the courage to come here, to try to remember what I had forgotten. All right, let's not stand around any longer. There's one place left, yes? Let's go take a look.
If one recalls correctly, the next place should be Xianyun Peak. You and I, how fares your health?
I may be a bit slow, but I'll do my best to keep up. I'm sorry to keep everyone waiting.
Climb on. I shall carry you to the top. Oh, such lightness of weight.
All those who grow old grow frail in the end, do they not? First, you lose your memory, then your health. Eventually, you end up losing everything. My only wish...
Fret not. You have my aid in this endeavor.
Aber was mit der dritten Stelle? Warum ist es jetzt egal? Na gut. Ich bin gespannt, was die angestellt hat. Sie werden nie so sein wie ich. Oder war es... Ne, wenn sie eine Adeptin gewesen wäre, dann wäre es ja auch was anderes gewesen. Hat sie vielleicht die Kräfte von allen bekommen? Alter, trag mich jetzt doch nicht hoch. Oh, oh. Fast wäre ich wieder drauf reingefallen. Ich gehe wieder ein bisschen zu nah hin und stürze ab.
We're finally here. Does this place feel familiar to you, Granny One Day?
Let me see... How strange. Have I lived here before?
Ganz ruhig, lass dir Zeit.
When we were at Wangshu Inn and the abandoned house earlier, though I couldn't remember everything, I still felt a sense of familiarity. I could easily picture myself in those places. But here, I don't have that feeling. Perhaps I did come here in the past, but it just didn't leave a strong impression on me.
But did the stories get it wrong then?
Können nicht erwarten, dass sie alles zutreffend beschreiben.
Yeah, that's true. But they're also the only thing we have to go off of. Paimon was hoping this place would jog Granny Uendai's memory just like the others.
I'm sorry to disappoint you two.
It's all right. We're not going to give up yet. We'll figure something else out. Just you wait.
Thank you. If only I could remember.
Kommt nicht gerade ein Sturm auf oder so?
Huh? That way. What's that mountain?
Oh, let Paimon look! Huh? Isn't that Mount Outsong? Looks like we've come full circle.
Mount Outsong. Mount Outsong.
Granny, are you okay? Don't push yourself, Granny. It's okay if you can't remember. You shouldn't do something that makes you sad.
Mount Outsong, What am I really?
Mount Outsong holds some familiarity to you?
It does, but I can't go back.
Are you feeling unwell?
My head. It feels all heavy and dizzy. What is wrong with me?
Cloud... Miss Xianyun, is there anything you can do?
Let us go to Mount Outsong.
But...
Fret not, all will be well. You and I, you have already given more than enough to the pursuit of this endeavor. You may leave the rest to me. I've prepared something that can aid you in suppressing the fear in your heart and restoring your lost memories. It currently resides at Mount Outsong.
Wow, das dämliche Drecksviech ist hier. Deswegen ist der Sturm im Hintergrund.
Wait, really? When did you do that?
I never leave anything to chance. All will reveal itself when we arrive.
Guten Abend, Swanny. Aber war das Ding nicht woanders? Lass mir in Ruhe jetzt. Ich bin gespannt, was jetzt rauskommt, vor allem mit dieser Aussage, was bin ich? Ist sie auch eine Adeptin, die ihre Erinnerung verloren hat, aber dann wird sie ja eigentlich nicht altern. Oder ihre Kräfte verloren. Und deswegen altert sie.
Come on, just tell Paimon already! What's this thing you've prepared?
Vor allem, wie sie halt sich selber da drauf gebaut hat.
Here, this is it.
Huh? But isn't this the mechanism that you were tinkering with when we first got here? Oh, is it another invention of yours?
Precisely. A recent one at that. I am most pleased with the result. I call it the Suspensus Somnium mechanism.
Bildermaschine der spannenden Träume.
It periodically releases a soft breeze, which when paired with a gentle adeptal tune, can help the listener subconsciously relax and even enter a semi-hypnotic state. Soothing agitation and anxiety, relieving exhaustion and insomnia, its potential uses are numerous indeed. And of course, it can also aid in the recovery of lost memories.
Whoa, what a cool gadget! But if you had it all along, why did you keep it to yourself until just now? We could have come to Mount Outsong right off the bat and saved Paimon a lot of floating!
How preposterous. Had you and I not recalled much of her past through her own efforts, the device would have nothing to draw upon. We Adepti can only help those who first resolve to help themselves. Had she lacked such determination and strength of character, one would have little to offer in way of assistance.
Paimon thinks she gets it now. Hey, what's that other thing?
As previously mentioned, a gentle adeptal tune is required to take full advantage of the mechanism. One secured such a tune from Streetward Rambler. Only with her melodies can the mechanism reach its peak power.
Whoa, Paimon can feel what you mean. Paimon's body feels light as a feather. It's as if she's lying down on a warm patch of grass after a super satisfying meal.
And you and I, is the mechanism helping you to relax?
Ist schon wegschlafen.
It appears she has already succumbed to the depths of reverie. Come, join one on this side. We shall give her some time to herself.
Jetzt bin ich gespannt.
The drought is over. But why do you look like you want to cry?
The potion. It's nearly run its course.
I've never regretted meeting you. Not even for a second.
Please. Please, no. Have you forgotten? This is the world you left behind. One of gentle breeze and morning dew, perfectly straddled betwixt the realms of heaven and earth. This is your home. This is where you belong. You should have never left. The you of the past, the me from not that long ago. We should have never.
So that is the truth. No wonder this place is so familiar.
Granny! Granny, are you okay?
Cloud Retainer.
Your memories have returned?
Wait, did you just call her by her full name? Does that mean you already knew each other?
Yes, I now remember everything.
Granny, please don't cry. I'm here. I'm here.
Oh, don't worry, my dear child. Granny is fine. I'm so sorry, everyone. You've gone to so much trouble on my behalf. It's all come back to me now. The most important thing that I had forgotten was the truth of what I once was.
One can sense the guilt that now plagues your conscience. Reclaiming a truth long buried is sure to come with a myriad of complex emotions. Perhaps one should recount the story on your behalf while you compose yourself.
No, it's okay. Now that I've remembered, I must face my memories head on. Shuyu, everyone, I cannot thank you enough for all your help. I'm ready to tell you my story, if you're willing to listen.
Please, Granny, don't force yourself. What happened in the past doesn't matter. I love you more than anything. Nothing you say can change that.
I know, dear child. My feelings for you are exactly the same. It is for this reason that you deserve to know the truth. Some time ago, I made a terrible mistake. One for which I could never atone.
Is this the sin that you mentioned in Xianyun Karst? What happened?
I am, in truth, not a human being. My real form, one that I held for centuries, was that of a wild crane. I spent many, many years living on Mount Outsong, bathing in the soft breeze and drinking the sweet dew of the mountains. At some point, I somehow gained wisdom and sentience. The Lord of the Mountain, Cloud Retainer, became aware of my existence and began to share many stories with me. She even passed on the secret of cultivation to me. Though she never took me on as a formal disciple, I always saw her as my master. Whenever she took out her tools to work on mechanisms or new inventions, I would also stand next to her and watch. I even contemplated completing my training and becoming an adeptus in my own right. I followed her teachings, and time gradually passed us by. Until that fateful day 50 years ago.
50 years ago?
Wer in der Dürre die Liebe heimsuchte.
That's right. Master regaled me with many stories of her past deeds. From them, I learned how she had saved people from a similar crisis in the past. She was the one I looked up to the most. More than anything, I dreamt of becoming an adeptus like her. I wanted to travel the land like she had, relieving suffering wherever I went. But I was still far from being a real adeptus. I possessed no ability to take on human form and fit in with the crowd. Once she learned of my desires, Master prepared a special dose of human mimicry potion for me. She warned me that the potion's effects would only last 10 years, and if I were to fail to return to my original form at the end of that time, I would forever forget my past as a crane and become something neither human, beast, nor adeptus.
Oh no. So that was the source of your dementia all along.
Du hast dich nie in einen Kranich zurückverwandelt.
Was it because of Grandpa?
Indeed, I fell in love. Though he was human, he had spent his entire life training on Mount Tianheng. When we met, it was not only my first foray into the world below, but his as well. Although clumsy and impulsive as he was, you'd think he was the real strange bird among the two of us. But still, just like me, he cared deeply about the world and wanted, more than anything, to cleanse it of all pain and suffering. I could not help but fall for him. But my time continued to tick away. Those 10 years passed by in a flash. Yet I did not want to leave his side, so I...
Oh no, what happened next?
I committed an offense. I wanted to stay with him, even if it meant living a life full of pain and suffering, even if it meant that I would eventually turn into a monstrosity. I knew I had betrayed Master's hopes, but I was too ashamed to face her. So I wrote her a long letter instead and asked someone to leave it outside her abode. I was convinced that she would not support my decision, and I lacked the courage to speak to her face to face. In my shame, I fled and tried to hide from the world, such that no one would be able to find me again.
Das ist also der Grund, warum die namenlose Heldin untergetaucht ist.
But that was only the beginning of my troubles. I began to suffer from a strange illness. My memories became hazy and confused, and I could no longer keep myself awake. I understood that my pain was caused by my refusal to return to the life I was fated to lead. Along with my memories as a crane, I soon forgot the true cause of my suffering as well. I knew only that I had committed a sin. All I could do was pray for forgiveness, even if I had long forgotten what needed to be forgiven. Looking back, I was beyond lucky to have come across that traveling merchant at Wangshu Inn. It was such a fortunate coincidence that we were there at the same time. If it weren't for those soul-revitalizing tea pills, I probably would have...
Granny, what's wrong?
Coincidence? Why did I ever think it was a coincidence? Tea pills concocted using the blood of an adeptus? No, it couldn't be. Master, don't tell me. Back then, that merchant was actually...
Human custom would dictate the conferral of gifts to be in order when one's progeny is wedded, would it not? Consider the pills a symbol of one's best wishes.
So when I tried to conceal my name and mistakes from the world and hide myself away in perpetuity, the only person I managed to deceive was myself. You knew where I was all along.
One still remembers when you were but a fledgling. You possessed a certain fondness for a particular game. You would hide yourself among a group of wild cranes and ask one to pick you out from among the flock. One found you with such ease every time. 'Tis a truth most evident. One always recognizes one's own, no matter what form they may take.
Wait! Paimon's confused! So, Cloud Retainer, you found Yuendai again? But how? When? And what happened after that?
Perhaps it is now time for one to recount the rest of the tale.
Jetzt kommt die Sequenz, oder? Ja. Oh. Schweinerei, ich habe mich jetzt auf eine coole Szene
One
eingestellt.
was furious upon receiving your letter. Seized with anger, one set out to bring you to your senses.
Ich wollte es mitnehmen. Oh, sie hat ihren Fächer.
Ja, skyward, scatter!
Hä, wo zur Hölle sind wir eigentlich? Oder hat es damals so ausgeschaut? Achso, ist es ihre Welt in ihrem Ding? Nee. Achso, das sind auch Erinnerungen.
In truth, one had more than a few misgivings about your chosen partner. As an exorcist, his talent was lacking. One could hardly say his skill with sigils was any better. But soon, one came to appreciate the devotion he bestowed upon you during your illness. He never uttered a complaint and rarely left your side. Unwilling to begrudge someone of such character, one decided to overlook his aforementioned deficiencies, glaring though they may have been. Wishing to grant you a life without regrets, one gathered many divine ingredients and used one's own blood to create a form of medicine. Though imperfect, it managed to suppress the more dire effects of your illness. As for how to deliver the medicine, after much contemplation, one eventually decided to perform the deed oneself.
Mich würde interessieren, hat sie sich verwandelt oder hat sie sich einen Schnurrbart angeklebt?
One took great care to alter one's features and select the appropriate attire. Only after meticulous scrutiny did one finally set out for Wangshu Inn.
Die hat sich halt echt einen Bart angeklebt.
As one expected, you were most ignorant of one's true identity. You showed not even the slightest inkling of recognition. One was quite torn. Should one have celebrated the success of one's disguise, or mourn the loss of your acquaintance? Skyward! Scatter! Skyward!
Hä? Warum ist er jetzt nicht gesprungen? Wow.
Nevertheless, one would speak to you about another matter, if you are amenable, even considering your loss of memory. One was simply flabbergasted that you could so easily forget the consequences of consuming medicine infused with adeptal blood. Its proclivity to attract monsters is hardly that complicated of a concept to remember. To think that you tried to travel while weak from sickness and heavy with child. Had one not intervened to clear the fog, all of you would have been lost during the night. Stray clouds converge!
Ja, dann Immunität verlieren? Achso, weil das dann...
Make way for the Adeptus! Scatter! Skyward! Stray clouds converge!
Ja. Achso, ich hab's mir schon gedacht, dass irgendwer geholfen hat.
Those monsters would hardly have pursued you with such ferocity without sufficient incentive. They were likely incited by the presence of godly remains. Said godly remains, in turn, were likely drawn to the trace of one scent on your body. One was, after all, an active participant in the Archon War. Some of the gods were likely shattered by contraptions of one's very making. In the end, one was relieved to see you endure through the night. At the break of dawn, one heard an infant's cry pierce through the air, and one saw you carefully cradle the child to your chest. Although certain mortal matters remain foreign to me, one could not help but be moved by your joy. To see you happy, that was more than enough. Yeah! Now you should have a complete understanding of the events.
Wait! But if that's true, then the crane who took care of me when I was sick must also be...
Ah, one had almost neglected to recount the absurdities of that tale.
War das dann sie?
Ja! Skyward! Scatter!
Oder war das die Oma? Weil die ja gesagt hat, die Oma war ja nicht da.
Just as you and I troubled one with her antics, so did you give one many a headache.
Also doch.
Upon finding you burning with fever, one made plans to bring you back to one's abode for treatment. However, upon seeing one's form, you began to cry, refusing to get on one's back. When one asked you why, apparently you believed that one could not possibly be a true Adeptus, because all illuminated cranes are white from tip to toe. One had no choice but to apply powder to one's body to conceal the variegated nature of one's appearance. You became more than amenable enough when one stood before you devoid of any other coloring.
Alter, wie geil. Wie sie sich halt echt maskiert hat. Also.
It bears mentioning, however, that as a crane, you and I was nearly entirely pure white in color. Though you had never encountered her in that form, you still recognized the essence of her being. Perhaps fate brought you two together in more ways than one.
Deswegen, ich dachte schon, hä, wenn die andere ihre Form nie mehr angenommen hat, konnte es ja schlechtes sein. Wie sie sich ihre Farbe weggepudert hat.
Now all has been revealed. One owes you an apology, you and I. One recognized you upon your very entrance into Wanmin restaurant. One has always viewed you as a disciple of equal standing with Ganyu and Shenhe. Indeed, one wished to bring your story to a satisfactory end with this visit to Liyue Harbor. Still, one could not reveal your identity right away. Had one simply informed you of all you had lost, all those cherished memories would merely have become the fictionalized account of another. Memories are most meaningful when recalled by those who lived through them. Would you not agree? Even if the process was painful and arduous to experience. Have you any further inquiries?
Master, I must ask. If you found me all those years ago, why did you leave me be, even though you knew about my mistake? Why did you not bring me back to Mount Outsong by force?
One has never regarded your action as a mistake. It was a simple choice, nothing more. When it is time for one's progeny to leave the nest, it is the responsibility of an elder to let them fly free. Yet, when your wings grow weary and the night grows dark, just know that you always have a place to which to return. 'Tis a refuge referred to by many a name in mortal writing. Home, nest, haven. Whatever its denomination may be, its essence remains quite unchanged. One speaks, of course, of a place not unlike one's own abode. One's disciples are free to come and go as they wish, yet the door remains forever open to those who wish to return. One rather hopes you count yourself among them.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
You and I. One expects you too have sensed the rapid deterioration of your condition as of late. Have you not? 40 years ago, you chose a path without a future. Though one used one's own blood to provide you with a few decades of extra time, it merely delayed the inevitable. One may have extended the path, yet one was unable to alter its final destination. Even the power of an Adeptus has its limits. Had your condition continued to deteriorate, you would have forgotten your life as a human entirely. In the end, you would have turned into a creature lacking in the ability to even comprehend its own monstrousness. Fortunately, you were able to avoid that scenario by reclaiming your memories. Though one sped the process along by providing some guidance, the result is entirely a reflection of your own effort.
So, what's gonna happen to Granny?
One will help her reclaim her original form as a wild crane. If it be fated, she may recover her sentience one day.
She's gotta go back to being a regular crane, huh?
Besteht keine andere Möglichkeit?
Master, you've already done more than enough for me. I don't know how I could possibly repay your kindness. This is a better result than I could have ever hoped for. How much time do I have left?
Not long. The transformation is imminent.
Granny? Please don't leave, okay? You're all I have left. Please.
Don't be sad, dear child. Granny has led a wonderful life. My only regret is having to leave you behind. Don't forget to eat well, okay? A growing young lady like yourself needs lots of good food to grow big and strong. Promise Granny you'll take good care of yourself when I'm gone.
I promise, Granny. I'll do whatever you say.
Good girl. Good girl. Don't worry. It's not goodbye forever. Granny's gonna become the most formidable crane in all of Mount Outsung. Granny will train day and night. I won't stop until I can turn into a human without having to rely on anything but my own power. When that day comes, we'll be able to live together again. You and I. How's that sound?
Good.
That's a good girl. Even though we won't see each other for a little while, as long as we both work hard, we're sure to meet again someday.
I'll eat well, Granny. I promise. And I'll wait for you, no matter how long it takes. I'll wait for you to come back.
That's a good girl. Then Granny really has no more regrets. I'm so sorry, Master. Thank you for everything.
Xianyun.
Let her be. At her age, crying is a natural, if not fitting, response to such an event. Tears are a necessary part of maturation. Sometimes there is scarcely a better vehicle to wash away the toll of stress and misery. Now that the issue has been resolved, you should also take a moment to relax. Give yourself some time to rest. Take a nap if you must. One will wake you in due time.
I always believed we would see each other again, that our days of separation would finally end, and all my troubles would be behind me. If only things could stay this way forever.
A nightmare? Curious. If you're relaxed, shouldn't your dreams be pleasant?
It was a good dream. It's just...
You weren't ready to wake up. Eloquent as one may be, words of comfort are not one's strong suit. You are doing all you can. One can see your strength of will, your fearlessness in the face of danger. And so, whatever your dream may be, one believes that you shall achieve it. Of course, whenever the perils you face overwhelm you, or you become weary, one is always here for you. After all, as an elder, it is only right to look out for the young ones.
Ach schön, Mama Storch, ne?
Grilled chicken drumsticks.
Beißt sie sich gleich in die Finger?
Huh? Was Paimon sleeping just now? Oh, Paimon wasn't talking to you. Paimon had a dream about eating grilled chicken drumsticks, that's all.
Ist da eine Krabbe gerade auf den Tisch mitten in der Szene und wackelt jetzt da rum?
Madam Adeptus? Oh, Xiyu, you're awake.
Da?
How do you feel? I feel a little better. Thanks. I know I'll see Granny again someday, so I don't feel so sad anymore. Madam Adeptus, could I ask you something? Would you take me in as a disciple?
Oh, and have you reasons for this sudden interest?
I know Granny thought what she did back then was wrong. She felt really bad about it. But without that mistake, I would have never been born. Even though Granny lost her memories, she never forgot to show me how much she loved me. So, I thought maybe one day I could become a cool Adeptus like you and help a whole bunch of people, just like Granny wanted to do.
Upon some reflection, one supposes you are no mere mortal. The fact that Yuandai's blood flows through your veins is proof enough of that. If this is what you desire, one shall make it so.
Thank you so much, Madam Adeptus. No, I mean, Master. Chuyu, are you sure about this? Paimon's gonna let you in on a little secret. We've seen Cloud Retainer's 2 other disciples, and they pretty much eat nothing but bitter herbs like chinchin and violet grass. If you join them, you'll never enjoy Wanmin Restaurant's delicious cooking ever again.
How utterly preposterous. One has never enforced such a rule. Every individual must find their own path to enlightenment. So long as one retains a pureness of spirit, one's dietary proclivities are quite irrelevant.
Well, you say that, but Paimon's not seeing any tasty treats up here now, is she?
Although Mount Outsong is rich in natural beauty, its location does preclude access to certain finer mortal comforts. That is precisely why one plans to relocate to Liyue Harbor. Shu Yu shall have the honor of becoming one's first disciple in the human world.
Whoa, you're leaving Mao outside?
Habt ihr deshalb die menschliche Gestalt angenommen? Warte, wo ist mein Mauszeiger hier?
One has never concerned oneself with the location of one's residence. From the very beginning, one has sought only solace and peace. Yet in the end, all of one's disciples ended up in Liyue Harbor. Ganyu, Shenhe, Yuandai. They all chose a life among the mortal world. One has reflected on this fact for many years now. One can only assume that it is due to some failing on one's part as an elder or master. A failing, perhaps, of recognizing what it was they truly wanted.
Es ist halt aber auch so, wie diese Krabbe halt alle Aufmerksamkeit auf sie zieht, indem sie immer noch am Tisch rumgammelt.
One is most curious as to what aspect of Liyue Harbor could have enticed them to remain there. One could hardly offer an opinion on the matter, but perhaps some time in the harbor will prove instructive. Why are you all so silent?
Paimon is, just a bit shocked, that's all. So, does this mean we can grab a meal together in Liyue Harbor sometime?
One has precious little time to squander. However, if one finds oneself otherwise unoccupied, one would not be opposed to the idea. One will be assuming the identity of a human while residing in Liyue Harbor. You should take care to avoid disclosing one's true identity.
Don't worry, we'll help you keep it a secret. So, when can we expect to start seeing you in the city?
Perhaps in 2 days' time. One has some matters to see to before one's departure. Preparation is the key to success, after all. One plans to put up various items from one's collection for sale. The earnings should provide for a comfortable living in Liyue Harbor. One has already picked out a handsome property near Chuhu Rock. 'Tis no small purchase, but what is mortal life if not one expense after another?
Seems like you've really thought of everything. Then how about we meet up in Liyue Harbor in 2 days?
A sensible plan. See you then. Oh, also, why don't you take this suspense somnium mechanism as a souvenir? Anytime you should feel ill at ease in the future, you may try quieting your mind and sitting in meditation as you listen to its melodies. It might help you find a new perspective.
Ja, aber ich kann das scheinbar ja nicht mitnehmen. Das gehört jetzt der scheiß Krabbe. Die hat's besetzt. Sobald drüber geredet wurde, hey, willst du's mitnehmen? Okay, sie will's doch nicht mehr. Sie haut ab. Tschüss.
Awesome! Thanks, Cloud Retainer!
Die Krabbe.
Didn't we promise Shincho that we'd tell him what we found out? Should we make a trip to the Feiyun Commerce Guild?
Jetzt ist sie meine Krabbe.
Totally up to you.
Und ihr Bruder nehme ich auch mit. Warte, wo soll ich hin? Achso, ja. Das war jetzt auch geil. Hier, du kannst dieses Ding haben. Krabbe geht drauf. Nein, meins. Verpiss dich. Warte mal. 1 Tag. 2 Tage. Vor allem, wie die Krabbe halt mitten in der Sequenz einfach quer den Tisch hochgelaufen ist und dann einfach da rumgammelt. Ich denke mir so, hä, was ist jetzt passiert? Das ist öfter so, dass die Sachen im Hintergrund die Story verdecken. Du siehst wieder irgendwo wen rumrennen oder rumspringen oder irgendein Viech macht wieder komische Sachen. Oh, ich hätte vielleicht mit der Ding reden sollen. Jetzt ist es auch zu spät. Ach, zieh die da hin? Ah.
Your concerns are excessive and unfounded. This is but a simple collection of ordinary valuables. Such intense scrutiny is hardly necessary.
Und dann vergräbt sie die Krabbe noch auf dem Tisch. Stimmt auch wieder, ja? Die hat sich in den Tisch gegraben.
To be quite honest, your insistence on that fact is my primary cause for concern. In what way are any of these ordinary? Every single item here could be worth more than everything I own combined. I simply can't risk shelling out that kind of mora without proper scrutiny. If I'm wrong, I would never be able to earn it back, not even if I worked every single day for the rest of my life. I have to be careful. Yes, you can never be too careful.
We're here, Clow. Miss Xianyun, what are you guys arguing about?
Ah, perfect timing. This ignoramus is questioning the authenticity of my wares. I'll have you know, these items have remained untouched in my personal collection for several hundred years. To question their legitimacy is pure folly.
War sie es nicht, die gemeint hat, wir sollen doch bitte niemand verraten, dass er ein Adept ist? Und jetzt kommt sie so, hey, die habe ich schon seit ein paar hundert Jahren in meiner Sammlung. Hups.
Several hundred years?
Indeed. They're family heirlooms, you see. Passed down over many generations, as families are wont to do.
Yep, they've definitely been around a while. We can vouch for her on that one.
Hear that? Had I not found myself in need of mora, I would scarcely have had the heart to part with them. Indeed, you should consider it an honor to even have the opportunity to behold them with your own eyes. Doubt their authenticity any further, and I may just decide to take them to another buyer.
Whoa, please don't go! I apologize for any insult, miss. You see, I know full well that I lack the knowledge to judge the true worth of these items. If you could wait but a moment, I've hired an expert to appraise them for me. He should be here shortly.
Ein Experte? Wen? Oh, der vor der Hand, der Blaumann,
An
oder?
expert, you say? Very well. I will wait for a little while longer, then. Traveler, Paimon, this is my new residence. If you have cause to seek my company in the future, this is where you can find me.
Master! Oh, it's you two again. Hello.
Oh, sie hat neue Klamotten. Klamotten.
You got a new outfit! It looks great on you. Mm-hmm. Master made it for me. I like it too. Huh? You know how to make clothes?
Sie ist ziemlich alt.
Do I know how to make clothes? With the support of the proper mechanism, sewing is hardly a challenge.
Master, I brought in most of my stuff. There's a few boxes left, but they're kind of heavy, so I just left them outside.
Fret not. I shall help you move them into your room.
Actually, I should probably sort through my stuff a bit first. Everything's kind of messy right now, so maybe you could, not look yet, Master?
It appears my young apprentice has her own fair share of secrets. No matter. Do what you must, child. Now, this expert you mentioned. When can we expect their arrival?
Soon. Ah, there he is! Here, allow me to make some introductions.
Zhongli? Alter,
This
echt.
is Mr. Zhongli, a well-respected consultant at Wangshang Funeral Parlor and an expert in all manner of valuables and antiques.
Ich habe Zhongli halt komplett vergessen, ey.
Mr. Zhongli, this is Miss Xianyun. She's the one who's looking to sell the collection of valuables I mentioned earlier.
Der Blick halt von der von Xianyun, Alter, so, fuck? Der hat auch nicht damit gerechnet.
Huh.
Ah, if it isn't Miss Xianyun. It has been quite some time since our last meeting. What a serendipitous reunion.
Indeed, most serendipitous. Have you been faring well as of late, Mr. Zhongli?
Quite well, thank you. I was fortunate enough over the past few days to enjoy both a stroll in the mountains and a fresh brew of tea from the most recent harvest. The experiences left me with such insight and peace.
Huh. So you two are already acquainted?
Indeed. How fortunate we are that fate has brought us together again. If you are otherwise unaware, allow me to inform you that Miss Xianyun is a well-regarded collector and appraiser. She is well-versed in all fields, and oft-celebrated for her impeccable taste. You stand to gain much from this opportunity.
You are too kind, Mr. Zhongli. True collectors pride themselves on their wealth of knowledge and eye for detail. I can say without a doubt that you are foremost in that regard.
Why, you flatter me, Miss Xianyun. It would seem that you are as self-effacing as ever.
Not at all, Mr. Zhongli. Not at all.
Was?
While I am loath to butt into this conversation, I must ask, you two already knew each other, and you seem to have quite a cordial relationship.
Oh.
Can I be certain that you're not working together to swindle me? I mean, you never know.
Huh! A preposterous accusation. The heavens themselves would collapse before we would conspire to do such a thing.
Miss Xianyun speaks the truth. Contracts are built on honesty and trust. If that proves to be beyond your capabilities in this instance, this transaction may be taken elsewhere.
Wow. Wie er es halt geschafft hat, einfach mal die mächtigste Person in Liebe und einen Adepten einfach mal gleichzeitig, dass sie angepisst sind auf ihn. Das muss man erst mal schaffen.
Say no more. Let us depart.
I jest. What fool would still harbor doubts after Mr. Zhongli himself has vouched for the goods? Miss Xianyun, wait!
Ich dachte, der Putzler mir noch auftritt.
I deeply apologize for doubting you. So, Mr. Zhongli, could you please give me a final verdict on the value of these items?
There is no cause for concern. They are indeed rare and precious valuables. Take this mechanism, for instance. Though one may not immediately perceive its purpose, its structure and appearance are exquisite enough to merit it a place in any fine home. The same can be said for this one here. Few could hope to possess an item that so perfectly blends mechanical wonder with geometric grace. I am sure you have heard from your travels that the study of mechanisms is among the most wondrous arts in this world. With that in mind, I earnestly recommend procuring every last item in this collection.
All right. Since I hired you as my consultant, Mr. Zhongli, I shall, of course, trust your good opinion. Then, in that case, Miss Xianyun, I'll take the lot. However, since the final sum is quite large, how about we start with an initial deposit through the Northland Bank?
The Northland Bank? Huh. Oh, you refer to the fiduciary house. Oh, very well.
I fear people only use the term bank nowadays. In that case, I'll be off for now. I'll return to collect the goods once you've received the funds.
Der Typ, wenn wüsste, wen er da gerade angemault hat. Oder beziehungsweise verdächtigt hat, ihn zu betrügen. Wahrscheinlich der hätte keine 3 Leben. Da würden keine 3 Leben reichen, um seine Angst zu unterdrücken. Oder zu vergessen? Egal.
My friends, have you been doing well?
We've been great. How about you? Paimon didn't know you were such a busy consultant.
My days have been quite pleasant as well. I had been quietly enjoying a cup of tea when Mr. Xiaozu requested my services. As for you, Miss Xianyun, I presume you must be looking to settle in the city?
I must say, the name Xianyun sounds exceedingly strange coming from you. Perhaps you could dispense of that particular epithet in further conversation.
Whatever for. Am I not addressing you as a friend should?
Well, that is true, but... Alas, refer to me however you will. After all, a name exists such that others may address you with it. One is hardly ignorant of that fact.
It would seem that you have gained many valuable insights over the years, Cloud Retainer.
One has indeed. One's previous stays were all brief. Now that one has made up one's mind to move and settle, one has gained a much better appreciation of the hubbub and commotion of the city, as well as the people's hard work and ardor. This city is much changed from how it was more than 1,000 years ago.
Also manche Sachen sollen sich verändern in 1000 Jahre, habe ich mal gehört.
Not unlike the ocean tides. so too shall the movement of people ebb and flow. From turmoil to peace, enlightenment to aspiration. Human society possesses limitless potential. In another 1,000 years, the scene we witness here may change in ways that are impossible for either of us to imagine.
Alright, that's enough reflection for one day. No need to get all sentimental on us.
You make a valid point, Paimon. Now that the sale has concluded, what say one plays the host as we try some specialty dishes together? One must profess great interest in trying bamboo shoot soup.
Perhaps you have forgotten, Cloud Retainer, but I once tried my hand at that dish. You were at the table on that occasion, so logic dictates that you should have already tried it.
Oh? What occasion was this?
It was a reunion between friends several centuries ago. Alas, you must have been too preoccupied to secure yourself a portion. Or perhaps our other companions simply availed themselves of faster reflexes on that occasion.
Hä, das macht doch gerade keinen Sinn, was er erzählt. Oh, du musstest das eigentlich schon mal gekostet haben, weil bla bla bla. Hä, wann soll das gewesen sein? Ja, das war bei einem Treffen, aber du hast ja nichts bekommen. Hä?
Hardly. 'Twas most certainly out of consideration for the others in attendance. In but a moment, one will show you what it means to have a true deftness of hand. It is settled then. Bamboo shoot soup, mora meat, crab roe tofu, triple-layered consommé. We shall enjoy the lot. One has already passed word to Shenhe and Ganyu to make a reservation. It is prime time for them to meet one's newest disciple. Is that agreeable to everyone?
It should be a most splendid occasion.
Ganz herzlichen Dank, Fürstin.
Shu Yu, come now, it is time to dine. Ah, this gentleman over here is Mr. Zhang Li. He is,
A humble employee of Wangsheng Funeral Parlor. Pleased to make your acquaintance.
Nice to meet you too, Mr. Zhongli.
That should be everyone, right? Let's go!
Sounds good. Actually, Master, have you ever tried Adeptus' temptation? I heard it's impossible to stop eating after even just one bite. You know, 'cause it's super tempting and stuff. Is that true?
That sounds rather implausible. Although with the right preparation, certain dishes can be too delicious to resist.
Huh? Why are you all walking so fast? Hey, wait for Paimon! Hey, wait up!
Wenn du so lange brauchst. Gruß Serena, erster Akt. War doch ganz lustig. Also ich fand's schön. Sind jetzt eigentlich hier? Hey, hier sind eigentlich gar keine Tische, Alter. Was ist denn da vorhin los gewesen? War coole Story, auch mit dem Kranich und dass jetzt da der neue Lehrling gewonnen ist. Wo Paimon immer das letzte Wort haben muss. Ja, das sowieso. Ja, hat mir gefallen. Wobei ich dazu sagen muss, ich verstehe nicht, warum manche gesagt haben, man sollte das vor dem Laternenritual gespielt haben. Weil es von der Story her besser passt. Ich meine, ob sie jetzt danach hinzieht oder davor, ist doch eigentlich komplett wurscht. Also habe ich mal gelesen, vielleicht war das bloß einfach so die Ding vor ein paar, die gemeint haben, das ist so. Ja, war schön. So, als nächstes kommt dann, wie lange dauert das eigentlich noch? Warte mal. Gebet. 9 Tage. Also eine Viertelwoche noch. Dann kommt der neue Patch. Das muss ich irgendwann bei Gelegenheit mal machen. Helitastische Erkundungstour. Ja, jetzt auf Staaten sind aus dem Nichts in der Tauberschlucht aufgetaucht. Benehmen sich auswahrlich seltsam. Und dieses Ort scheint sich irgendein Geheimnis zu verbergen, also darauf wartet, von Abenteuern gelüftet zu werden. Okay.
It's true. You have to see the...
Ruhig, Paimon. So. Dann Hätte ich gesagt, wir kippen noch Bennett von der Brücke. Wegen der neuen Schülerin von der Fürstin von der Story. Ja, aber gut, kam die überhaupt mal im Laternenritual-Story vor? Eigentlich nicht, ne? Ah, doch, man hat sie sag's mal. Beim Drachenbauen hat man sie gesehen. Jetzt hat das erklärt, warum die dabei war. Ja, gut. Das macht jetzt aber nicht so viel aus. Nennt sie überhaupt mal Meisterin in der Story? Ich dachte halt, das ist einfach irgendein Kind, wo sie kennt. Aber stimmt, das hatte ich ganz vergessen, dass die dabei war. Ja, ja, genau. Deswegen, mich hat schon gewundert, ich dachte, das ist halt irgendeine Bekanntschaft, die kennt sie von weiß der Geier woher oder sowas. Aber was, sehr gut, der Stein, hattest du verdient, du Penner. Ja, was mich halt immer noch wundert mit diesem Kranich, wenn er vorher ja scheinbar schon irgendwie echt viel von der Meisterin gelernt hatte und keine Ahnung was, warum er sich danach nicht mehr erinnert. Oder der hat die Erinnerung dann gar verloren an der Zeit. Oder er ist mehr wildes Tier als Mensch, als das, was er vorher war. Fand ich halt komisch, weil ich dachte so, naja gut, die verwandelt sich halt zurück, erinnert sich noch dran, kann aber halt nicht mehr sprechen oder so. Und ich hätte mich wegen dem Kind schon gewundert beim Laternenritual. Ja, ich habe aber halt auch gedacht, denken wir so, mich wundert es irgendwie, dass halt da einfach ein Kind plötzlich dabei ist. Gut, macht dann schon ein bisschen Sinn, dass man das vorher dann gemacht hat, aber es ist jetzt nicht so viel mit dem Kind, dass du halt denkst so, boah. Ich meine, der Gaming, der kennt sie ja auch.
Benny's Adventure Team, assemble!
Der nervt mich, er muss da runter. Nein, nicht ins Wasser. Aufs Boot. Los, ich schaff das Boot. Nein. Ah, Alter, direkt auf die Reling und ins Wasser gerollt. Das habe ich genau gesehen. Den hätten die ruhig ein bisschen länger frecken lassen können. Benny's Adventure Team hat lauter gebrochene Knochen jetzt. Hurra! Ups. Haha. Ah, ja. Na gut, dann haben wir jetzt Xianyun ihre Quests auch endlich mal geschafft. Die wollten wir doch jetzt, glaube ich, seit zwei oder drei Streams machen. Ich glaube, seit 3 Streams, Alter. Jedes Mal ist was anderes gewesen und dann hat es da wieder gedauert und hier wieder gedauert. Ich vermute mal, nächstes Wochenende fällt aus. Der Stream. Dann machen wir dann übernächstes weiter. Kommt da irgendwas Besonderes, glaube ich nicht. Weil dann ist der neue Patch auch da, dann können wir uns mit der Chiori befassen. Genau. Ja. Warte mal, ist eigentlich das Zeug schon wieder da? Ja. Nein, nicht das. Wahnsinn, du konntest mal eine Story machen, ohne unterbrochen zu... Stimmt. Oh, da habe ich erst 6 Schweinerei. Das ist auch eine selten. Ja gut, es gibt ja jetzt auch keine Legendenaufträge mehr. Jetzt habe ich ja langsam mal alle weg. Ich bin ja jetzt fertig. Das Einzige, was noch gibt, ist jetzt das Zeug. Das mit der Farusan könnte man mal machen. Irgendwann. Und das mit dem Kaffee? KF? Ach, keine Ahnung. Heisu war ja jetzt nicht so das Geiste. Farusan können ganz lustig werden. Weil irgendwie mag ich sie. Aber es kommt ja jetzt dann auch erstmal, scheiße, wie heißt der Mist wieder? Einladungsereignis mit ich habe ihren Namen schon wieder vergessen. echt Probleme mit den Namen von denen. Lynette. Wo wäre die eigentlich? Da ist sie. Das könnte ganz lustig werden. Es gibt genug Weltquests, die dich ärgern können. Ja. Schauen wir mal, ob wir jemals dazu kommen, die zu machen. Ich muss zugeben, das mit den Aranara, das fuckt mich schon ab, dass ich die nicht fertig habe. Es stört mich jetzt nicht so sehr, aber ich bin halt irgendwo mittendrin in dieser Story und das fuckt mich ab. Und das da hier haben wir ja, glaube ich, auch nicht fertig gemacht. Das haben wir auch noch zum Teil gemacht. Und dann haben wir ja eigentlich noch die Quest von hier. Das hier haben wir ja gemacht, weil das war ganz cool mit der Name ich jetzt auch vergessen habe. Ist ja wurscht. Set? Irgendwas mit S war es auf jeden Fall. Jedenfalls, wer sind die Aranara? Ja, es ist was ich gern vergessen würde. Oh, diese Namen und das Reden, ey. Dann bedanke ich mich an der Stelle bei euch fürs Zuschauen. Ich werde jetzt dann Final Fantasy VII spielen. ich will mehr Final Fantasy VII zocken. Rebirth. Ich wünsche euch dann noch ein schönes Restwochenende und einen schönen Start in die Woche und eine gute Nacht. Und schön, dass ihr alle da wart, die da waren und noch da geblieben sind. Heute war es ein bisschen ruhiger und ein bisschen weniger los, aber alles in Ordnung. Ich nenne sie das Volk der Bobs. Oder so. Alles ist Bob. Ist irgendwie wie bei South Park. Mit diese Folge mit Makler, wo alles Makler heißt. Makler. Also dann, danke fürs Zuschauen, macht's gut und bis zum nächsten Mal. Servus. Irgendwie hat's nicht funktioniert. Warum hat es nicht? Achso, ich habe auf Gaming Stream gedrückt.
Thank you.